trust myself. I don't even need no help. Did it by myself, I don't need no help. Tryna stack money like books on the shelf.
Hundreds in the bag, got me feeling like the man. Shorty body hustling in the summer on the sand. Way she's working for it, got me feeling like the man. Shorty body hustling in the summer on the sand.
Did it by myself like a selfie. Nobody try to help me. Came to the club with an island girl. I'ma take it to the crib and let me buy you pearls.
Did it by myself, no one helped me, yeah. Now these bitches want a selfie. I like big gold chains, I like big gold rings. Let me take it to the crib and let me buy you things.
Fell in love with an island girl. I told her only time will tell.
She likes to ride in the ice as well. Will it be forever? Only time will tell.
Did it by myself like a selfie, yeah. Nobody try to help me, yeah.
She likes the ice and the ride as well. Will it be forever? Only time will tell. Big dog status, two-tone paddock.
Okay.
Stacks in the crib, I got a two-floor attic.
Got a two-floor attic, got your girl in the attic. But I'ma bring her right back, dude, don't panic, I'm savage. And nigga, if it's beef, we can manage.
I know a couple guys who walk around with automatics. I got big dog status, I ain't playing, I ain't average. I'ma leave you in static, I'ma leave you in static.
Fell in love with an island girl. I told her only time we tell.
She likes the ice and the ride as well. Will it be forever? Only time will tell.
Fell in love with an island girl.
Yeah.
I told her only time we tell.
She likes the ride and the ice as well. Will it be forever? Only time will tell.
Take note.
Tino, babe.
Yo, Tino, he'll get his dome pop. Satin blue on his whip, but he ain't no cop. Don't stop, spray up his motor till it smokes up. Cause what I bought for insurance, I have it wrote off, you joker. Suck on your mum and take note, cause the foreign ring up in his grill. That grandma stove top, don't flop. Fuck up the game like this was Roblox. Oh gunner, running this field, I'm for your walk up. Drum roll, load up a cannon and give her more shots. I put your face on a beam, now you're sword on. Treat you like an old sketchbook, you'll get drawn on. I lead your girl from the back, I'm that raw blood. Wait, who the fuck feels they could do me something? I'll roll up in your ends with a toolie busting. 32 ugly as shit, like Miss Rooney's husband. Somebody cut me a deal, I'm just too disgusting. Niggas think they next in line, but they ain't doing nothing. Mask on, metal in hand, Freddy Krueger's coming. Tools all up in your home, I'm here to fix the plumbing. House blown, toaster run, leak gas from your oven. Dior on your girlfriend's face, and she best get to sucking. Head game resemble my dad, cause it was good for nothing. Yeah, I'm still vegan, but I'm down for beef. Niggas think they slick with a dialect, but talk is cheap. Watch your mouth, little nigga, because I roll with heat. Top said there's no returns, and I see no receipt. I put your boy in the back like he was groceries. Riding round with the burner boy in case I find a leak. Extendo, licking off shots until it overheats. No mask, did it barefaced, just so they know it's me. Eyes closed, chest wide open, heart surgery. Usher said just let it burn, let's make it third degree. Niggas think everything's jokes until you shoot his queen. Shot was funny as shit, it barely missed the bean. Wax on, then wax off to leave the burner clean. Then open up the Uber app to flee the murder scene. Waving a stick will make them levitate. I raise a toast in the air, let's celebrate. See a couple holding a blade like it's wedding day. And yous can leave with a slash, just like wedding cake. Bitches on snap in the snacks. Oh no you ain't, know your place. Word to flawless, you look like bellyache. Beat my dick all off in the face and let it detonate. All facts, just ask your mum, she'll demonstrate. Damn right babes, I'm a jerk, just let it marinate. I gave it a beat like I was Penfold. I'm some retarded head, my tongue's mental. Babes, if you die then you die, cause you was meant to. Nigga, all I do is draw, I'm a pencil. Run up on you niggas like the rent's due. Dude, screwed, if I see food, you're on the menu. Your homies have to find the Dragon Balls to resurrect you. Fuck it, you niggas can all hate. I'm better than all of you niggas I don't rate. If your girl's fit, 4+4, she'll get 8. I'm a chiropractor back, just setting them all straight. Scorps, take note.
Yo, shout out my bro Scorps each and every time, man. Big up my brother Scorps. The first tune there, Jody featuring Jane Off, Island Girl. That's out on YouTube. That's out on all streaming platforms. The second track, unreleased freestyle by my brother Scorps. That's why you hear him name drop me. So shout out Scorps, big up Tox. Take note, you already know what it is, people. But yes, we are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A, where we answer sporting questions from the chat. Yes, it is international break settings. Yes, international break, we can't all lie, is fairly dry, but the shows must go on. The content must continue, even though Premier League football has stopped. Sarcasm City TV content has not stopped, and the rumor mill is running rampant, people. You got Sandro Tonali linked to Manchester United. You got Cole Palmer, not only linked with the move to Manchester United, but also linked to Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Elliot Anderson, also linked to Manchester United. He's also been linked to Manchester City as well. And then you've got Igor Tudor's been sacked. I believe he's been sacked anyway, or is close to. I believe he's been sacked. And then you've got Zerbi. Who would have thought relegation battle that they would go and get Zerbi? But I'm hearing talks that they tried to get Zerbi before Igor Tudor, and he turned it down. Then I'm hearing reports about he wanted to join at the end of the season. We ever heard that before? And then now he's apparently getting a 5-year deal. So we'll be discussing that because relegation is a genuine possibility for Spurs. But before I bring on the panelists, big up to everybody in the chat. Big up everybody supporting Sarcasm City TV. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you lot. Make sure, though, you pay the tax when you enter the city of Sarcasm. So you know what to do. Pay the tax, whether you're a regular resident here or you're passing through the city. Hit the like button on the video first and foremost, people. Make sure you hit that like button on the video. Make sure you follow and share across all of the socials as well. Yes, it's flawless at Sarcasm City TV, at Sarcasm City TV. Yes, it's flawless on Twitter and Instagram. So retweet, like on Twitter, share on Twitter, as well as follow up across all. And make sure you share on Instagram, I should say, and follow across all. And equally as important, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well. And if you are new to the Q&As, if you're a member of the channel, you queue jump to the front of the queue, people. I mean, you queue jump to the front of the queue. Your question takes priority, people. So your question queue jumps to the front of the queue. So if you're a member of the channel, I'll star your question and I'll get to it. And if you're kind enough to super chat, also get to that as well. They're the two surefire ways to make sure your question gets answered in the chat. Big up. Let me get to the chat before I bring everybody on. Big up Low Fat. Big up Jay. Big up Atro. Big up Prime. Cameron as well. Good to see you, Cameron LFC. Shouts to Mandem. Play Ball says bombers galore. Shout out to 4 Prem in a row as well. Wharton's name's kind of been an afterthought because you mentioned we're going to get Wharton, but we'll get to that as well. Big up my nephew in the chat as well. Si's also in the building. But let me bring on the panelists as well. We got Charlotte in the building. Vikran's here as well. Prime, Si, how's everybody doing? Everybody good?
Yeah, all good, bro.
Good,
Vikran?
Yes, Si. Blessings, yeah? Good?
All good, yeah, all good. Big up Prime, big up Chat, big up Vikran, all good.
How you doing, Charlotte? You all good and everything?
I'm all good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, all good, all good. This is Charlotte, fresh off the zone, by the well, people. If you don't know who Charlotte is,
don't let me attention, don't.
We got another superstar in the building. We got superstar Sai, who was on national TV, worldwide TV over in India for the World Cup. Now we got somebody who was fresh off the zone just off the weekend as well, people. So celebrities keep rolling through the city.
Give me some of my GTA skills. Don't do that to me.
Hey, that's two different things. I was rusty as well, to be honest. Shout out Surfer because he was a savior during that stream. Big up, Surfer.
How's everyone doing, guys?
Yeah, man, you good, Prime?
I'm bored as fuck. I'm just gonna be real, man. I'm bored as fuck because this international break is fucking tiring. Watching all these shit games, bro. Respectfully.
Hasn't any of the playoff games been decent? I only caught the Wales.
No, flawless. I'll save you some time. No, they've not been good. They've all been rubbish. They've all been rubbish.
I don't want to say that, but Czech Republic versus Ireland was good.
Like I said,
that game was only decent because it had a lot of goals.
Don't lie. It wasn't a good game, bro.
Respectfully,
don't do that. I know Ireland are out, but it's a good game.
No. I'm the only person who was invested in that game, bro. Shit. You bought all the two.
No. I can't say I'm more than invested in you, but I wanted Ireland to win.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it was a good game. That just means you wanted them to win.
I liked it. No, I liked it. Flawless is laughing. I don't know why.
bro, because he knows the game was rubbish, bro. Why are you trying to pretend?
I'm just laughing at the conversation because I didn't watch the game. I only watched. Who did Wales go out? Was it Bosnia? It was Bosnia, right?
Yeah, it was
Wales went out to
Bosnia.
I watched like the latter half, so like the second half, and then some of extra time, and then I watched the penalties, and that was it. That seemed like a decent game. It did. It seemed the atmosphere was rocking, to be honest. But I didn't watch the whole game.
All of these games.
We bottled a 2. Bro, I was pissed that night. We bottled a 2-0 lead. I was pissed.
Yeah, understandable. You're 2-0 up. You should win the game.
And I just watched Germany play the most boring 2-1 game I've ever seen in my life against Ghana. I'm never gonna get that time back.
Yeah, it was definitely a friendly because it's African European. So yeah, definitely friendlies are useful.
I honestly don't see the friendlies.
Useless. Yeah.
We went to pens. Kelleher saved the pen in the first 3. We missed our final 2.
Oh, wasn't that when the Brennan Johnson skied his or something?
I knew he was gonna miss that Brennan Johnson penalty. It's one of the worst penalties I've ever seen. Like I knew he was gonna miss. When he stepped up, I was like, yeah, he's missing.
That just sums up him as a player, man.
It was real bad. It really was. But you know what? We'll go to the latter half of the actual title of the live stream as well about De Zerbi being the new boss at Spurs. And we'll go to you actually, Charlotte. Not so much on De Zerbi joining Spurs, but with Spurs battling relegation. What do you think the biggest like misconception is from like Premier League soul fans about the championship in regards to teams getting relegated and how tough it is to come back up? You think like it's understated by Premier League fans, or there's things that they don't take into consideration?
I think it all obviously depends on the team and the actual structure of a football club. To be honest, obviously the ownership. I personally think if the worst did happen to Spurs and they went down, I think they would be perfectly fine, if I'm being quite honest. I know in the past we've obviously seen for teams who have been promoted, then go down, they get relegated. And more often than not, we have those more consistent teams who then obviously, I've always said, and a lot of people always say, there's them regular teams who they're too good for the championship, but they're not so good for the Premier League. So we've always said there needs to be like a little league in between for like your Norwiches, for obviously your Sheffield Uniteds. They're obviously not doing as well this season. You've got the likes as well as now Ipswich. They're doing fantastic at the moment. But from a personal opinion and watching the championship, I think if Spurs were to go down, I think they would be perfectly fine, if I'm being honest. I think they'd still attract the players because it's Spurs. Obviously, they have quite a good structure in place as well, Spurs. And very, very, very big club. I think they will have to adapt the way they kind of play in the championship, but there's not too much of a difference compared to as you do go down the football pyramid. But yeah, I personally don't think Spurs will get relegated, to be honest. But if the worst did happen, I do think they will be absolutely fine. Because we've seen some of the other teams where we've actually seen teams from League One be promoted, and we've seen them obviously do quite well, like your Charlton Athletics. I know they were once a big Premier League side.
They used to be a big Premier League side. Yeah. They was like regulars, like actually above, like upper mid table. They were like a top 10, top 8 side. Yeah,
they've had their problems with ownerships in recent seasons, so that's obviously why they've ended up going down again. They've been promoted and they're doing fairly decent now. They're just above the relegation zone, but pretty comfortable above the relegation zone. But yeah, I think Spurs, if they were to go down, I think they would be challenging up there. And also it makes a good talking point as well, because now in the playoffs there's them 2 extra playoff spots. So if we don't quite make it, we've got a better chance.
Yeah, 8 teams is crazy. The fact that there's now 8 rather than the top 6. But, hey,
they're trying to cause trouble.
Nah, they're just trying to have extra money. You know how it is, man. That's why you got like, I think it's ain't there this season. It could be like 8, 9, or the following season. It could be like 8, 9, 10 Premier League sides in the Champions League or in Europe overall, I should say, not just the champs. Because if you got Spurs, because if Villa win Europa League, they get in, even if they don't finish in the top 5. And then you got 5, and then you got the 2 Europa League sides, then the potential winner of the FA Cup, whoever that's been. You got half the league in there. But big up my goals. So you big up everyone in the chat. Run up the likes like Tactical Devil said. Big up my guy. Big up to everyone in the chat. Please run up the likes. Over just under 60 of you lot in the building. Continue to run up the likes. Continue to make sure, share across all the socials, subscribe. The Zerbi Vikran, talk to me. Because this one makes no sense to me.
You see, Charlotte was given a proper analysis, a proper constructive, valuable criticism. But I'm just going to tell you that this is one of the daft disappointments I've ever seen in my life, because the guy is not a relegation battle manager.
I agree.
He's not a relegation battle manager. He's a manager you bring in at the end of the season when you want to start fresh and you want to bring someone with new ideas in. And obviously, he's more progressive, and he's an attacking manager. You bring him in the end of the season, you bring in his players, and then next season you go again. You see what you can do. They have not got the team to play his football at all.
You're telling me you don't see Gallagher playing for the Zerbi in the pivot, fam? Don't lie. That's a serious question,
bro.
I'm
joking. I put Gallagher.
Straight face. You don't Gallagher. Straight face.
Will Gallagher and Pauline are playing the Zerbi.
How do I know?
Huh?
You see, there's brackets of like players. You've got your obviously you've got the upper echelon players. You've got your Mals. You've got your Elises. You've got your like slightly mid-level players. You've got like Harry Wilsons and Owobis and that. And then you've just got players that I don't even count as pro footballers anymore. I put Ugarte in that. I put Gallagher in. I put them in the bracket of if my dad was still playing, he could do a better job than them. And he's got a broken knee, a broken leg, everything, and he could still do a better job. Now you want those players to suddenly start playing this progressive football with 7 games to go and no time to implement anything. I just think it's a desperation move because their board have already fucked up too many times. Like I said, because I was going back and forth in the group chat with Jez about it, and I kept telling him, because he kept saying that this squad doesn't suit Sean Dyche football because there's no like fighters in their team. Their team is not that physical in that. But at this point, they just need someone who's just gonna go in 2 banks of 4 lads. We're just gonna defend for our lives. That's actually what they need right now. Forget because these guys were going into detail about, they were trying to get all tactical about the intricacies of Sean Dyche's long ball, long throw in football. And I was just like, bro, forget all this nonsense you lot are talking. Just get a manager that's going to make you harder to play against. Number one. That's what you need. Forget all the extra stuff. That's all that can come down later on when you get some players. But right now, you need to just focus on just making, just not going out sad every game, because they're getting slapped every single game they play. Even the Liverpool game where they got a result, that wasn't a great performance. Liverpool were just bad. That wasn't a good performance by them.
It was just grip. It was all grip from them. That was just all effort.
Effort.
Because I disagree with the fact that they don't have any. They do have hard workers. They have more hard workers than they have footballers.
No, but the thing is, the point that these lot were trying to make to me was, the other teams in the league are too physical for them. But I said I disagree. Apart from Everton, Newcastle, and maybe, you could argue Brentford, the other teams in the league are not as physical as people are making out. They're not. They've got some players, some individual players that are maybe more physical than others, but they're not miles clear of Spurs physicality-wise. They're not. All you need is a manager that's just going to come in, 2 banks of 4, make you difficult to play against, and just grind out. Even if you just grind out draws, that might be enough, because the other teams in that battle, they're not going to win any games. Leeds haven't won a game, I think, since Feb or January.
Yeah, looking through actually, I think they haven't scored a goal in their last. I think it's 4 Premier League games.
Bare draws, bro. Bare draws.
Proper scrubs, man. Fuck Leeds. Sorry, go on. As you were.
That's all you need, though. You just need to grind out these results, because Leeds, as much as I can't stand them, they're grinding out the draws that they need to just keep them above. Because that's why when people tell me games in hand this, games in hand that, you'd rather have the points. The points are the most important part.
100%.
This game in hand thing doesn't mean anything if you're not winning any of these games. I remember even when people were talking about the title race in City, I said, bro, Arsenal have the biggest advantage because they've already got the points. City are the ones that have to chase. And you don't want to be chasing at this point in the season when as well, the pile-ups. Because if you look at April, the schedule in April is tight. There's going to be, after the first set of games, there's going to be games pretty much every other 3 days.
Yeah. I was looking at after the international break kicks off, you got FA Cup, Champions League, then Premier League, and then it's right
then
back
Champions
into
League, then Premier League.
Yeah.
There's no rest time. So you'd rather have the points, you'd rather have the results right now. That's why you don't want to be chasing at this point in the season.
No, you're right. No, 100%.
But back to the Zerbi part.
Go to.
You know what? They probably do stay up, just because they're getting players back from injury, and I think those players that are coming back will have enough quality to get them through some games. But I don't think it will be enough. Actually, no, because I don't think Forest and West Ham are going to pick up enough points to really threaten them. So I think that they could still stay up, but it will be a mountain of a task. Like if Zerbi does it, he deserves a guard of honor. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, they got two games that are key for them because you play the teams around you. That's what's key for them because they play Leeds and then they play Wolves. But yo, Jez, hope you're blessed. This is gonna be a stupid question. I already know the answer, but I have to ask for the people. Them, yo, I already know your thoughts on him as a manager. We've had many discussions when he was at Brighton, when he joined Marseille. Where are you at, man? Zerbi, he's not official, right? It's just like it's looking like it's
close at the moment.
Okay,
I mean,
your thoughts on Zerbi potentially joining, and big up Dunsey in the chat. Go on.
Shit. I hope it falls through. Shit. Fuck it. Fuck it.
I said I hope it falls through. Like regulars know, but there could be new people, so we have to cater for all. That's why I laughed because I already knew without asking. Just when I seen the news break, I was like, I already know his thoughts. But after asking new people potentially watching who don't know his thoughts, thought it was just.
No, remember what Yaya Torres said about Pep.
Yeah, go on. What in particular?
There's like a famous quote that he. I'm just trying to find it. Hold on, I'm trying to find off the. I found it. He said. Sorry. He said, "When I look at Pep, I don't see a man. I see a snake."
That's speak. Yeah. Is that what Yaya said about Pep for real?
That's what he said.
He does.
That's what he said. Yeah. So no, I think I don't have to say more than this, man. Yeah, I just don't. I don't even rate. I know some people rate him as a manager. I don't rate him.
I don't.
Sorry.
You know, you don't rate me. But talk to us, Charlotte. What is it that you don't rate about him?
I don't rate him
because he splits opinion. Go on.
I'm gonna be honest with Zerbi. Like, don't get me wrong, he did a very good job at Brighton, but do you not feel like every manager that goes in at Brighton does a consistent job because they have such a good structure in place, Brighton? Like, Graham Potter did a really good job. Obviously, Zerbi. I know, obviously, this season, they are conceding a few goals. They're not quite up to scratch as they have been in previous seasons, but I feel like at Brighton, they have that much of fantastic recruitment, that much of a fantastic structure in place. They can make any manager look good, if I'm being quite honest.
Now, you're right, because when we think of the managers list, like you got Potter, like you mentioned, Zerbi, there's Hertzler. I'm actually going to pull up their list now of managers. Now you got a valid point. Very, very valid point.
And one more thing, Nicholas, he never stays more than 2 years at any club.
Yeah,
he never stayed more than 2 years at any club.
He always crashed out.
He crashed out. One more thing, I don't want to go this back because it's not happening, but I had to disagree with Flawless and Vikram that Sean Dyche will save them up. No, it is worst appointment for them. I had disagreed with this. I had a lot of back and forth.
Let me ask you a question.
I was habit.
Let me ask you just one question. Who do you think gives them a better chance of staying in the Premier League? Zerbi?
No. I told the judge also. Nobody knows who can space right now. Nobody knows.
Shit, I wasn't even finished with the Zerbi part, but
sorry, go on.
And I don't even really care about the Dyche, because Dyche is not going to happen. So what's the reason?
Yes, I just can't believe. I can't believe looking at someone like that. That's what baffles me. But go on.
No. When you say you can't believe it, but then you see everything that they have been doing over the whole season, then you can't believe it. So
true say, I should believe it. When someone tells me they're stupid, I should believe it. I hear it.
It's the same logic. So I'm not really surprised, to be honest. So the guy is just a bum. It's a bum as manager. Let's keep it a bum. Like I've seen people trying to bring the positives, because obviously everybody's trying to find positives to find about every manager, right? I think he's possibly overrated, and I think his brightness. For some ever reason, he's the only manager in world football that plays good football and is allowed to be a failure as much as he is. I don't like every other manager that we say they play good football. We end up calling the hipsters. We call Hutzler hipsters. Hoeneß is get called a hipster. We called Company a hipster. We calling Ange a hipster. Like, but
Luis Enrique.
To be fair, I wouldn't even say that about Enrique because Enrique, he at least has proven himself, right?
Now, someone popped up in the chat and said that Side being an idiot. Someone said it in the chat to me and him.
Enrique's a hipster.
Yeah. And I was just like, when it's just certain conversations you don't entertain. I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, no.
I was like, cool.
Do you remember when they called Nagelsmann a hipster?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, not.
No, bro, I stand by that shit. Nagelsmann is a hipster, bro.
But hold on.
That guy is. He's a noble.
Let's not divert from the conversation because my point is here. You see all these managers they're getting called hipsters here for doing literally the same thing that he does, which is the ironic part. You can even argue all these managers have done more than him in his career. Even company before he went to Bayern. I think the Zerbi got a relegation on his CV, and company at least got a promotion in his CV before he went to Bayern, of course. So for me, it's like I don't understand. Yes, a team in Serie C, I think, or Serie B. This was years ago, but this how much I'm a hate. This how you know I'm how much of a hater him because I knew this fact already in 2023.
I did the research on his downfall.
So I don't understand why he's even rated to begin with. He got sucked, but everybody plays good football, but they don't get the same hype.
True.
I don't get it. Like even what's it called? Marseille, for example. He was supposed to be competing for the league title this season, and they spent all the money that they did over the 2 seasons. They spent it on some guys. He spent it on some guys who were very controversial signings. We already know that, but also guys that didn't come with great reputation, just to make sure that the guy can go and win. Yet Lens are the team. RC Lens are the team who are 1 point behind PSG, where Marseille is now with a new manager, and they're looking for a new director of football after the summer where he was supposed to go and compete. The guy hasn't even made it to a final. He battled it against Ajax, I think, in the Europa League when he was with Brighton the season before. Marseille battled it in the Champions League, can't even make a top 24. An extended Champions League campaign, and you can't even make it into the top 24. I'm sorry, but before we even speak about from the aspects of why it doesn't make sense for us to hire him, let's talk about him as a manager, and let's speak about how overrated he is. Because let's be honest, his name comes always up with the biggest clubs in the world. I've seen him linked to Chelsea. I've seen him linked to United. Liverpool was mentioned, and I'm like, I don't really understand why he's getting linked to those football clubs. He's overrated as hell. So
I think that's what it is. Yeah, go on, just carry on.
So, and this is by me just talking about his achievements. I haven't even gone in from a tactical standpoint or for him as a man manager. So this is the thing, because I can probably go on another hour dismantling, but I think this guy is madly overrated, and I don't even have to speak about him from a tactical or from a man manager perspective. We have seen how many players he has fallen out with. Guys literally humiliated in front of cameras with no shame whatsoever. Like this is the most serial loser that I've ever seen. Yet he has the reputation of somebody who is supposed to be one of the best managers in the world. Like it's crazy. Like somebody called him Conte Light, and I kind of see it. The guy's like Conte with no trophy.
Someone called him Conte Light.
Light. Oh, that's dark.
Bro, bro, just Conte cries like Conte, but with no trophies.
At least Conte's won the league, isn't it? Like,
yeah, and I think they're both vastly overrated. So
So for me, I'm not even gonna go into the other part, right? Because I could continue that much longer when it comes to it, right? But the guy is just so ass as a manager, and this comes to the point of the hiring part. I mean, literally, as I said earlier, when somebody shows you they're stupid, just take it as the fact that they're stupid, and then, like, the club is just panicking. Like, I'm not really surprised that they're trying to do all this to get the Zerbi in. Then they're gonna go and make him one of the highest paid managers in the league because they believe this is their manager. But again, do I even think he's gonna be here for long? Not necessarily. It depends what his clause is gonna be in his contract. Is he gonna have a clause where if the team gets relegated, he can leave in the summer? Is he gonna have a clause where if the club is not gonna back him in the summer the way he probably would like to, can he just have it like an easier way out? I don't know, because I have to wait till I have to see all the details and see what it is. But for me, I'm not surprised by it. I'm not really shocked by it, to be honest. So yeah, the guy. I mean, he just better hopes that he can keep us up, because if he doesn't, at least I have another. At least the positive is that I have another agenda on him, and 2 relegations on his CV before the trophy.
I thought you were thinking about his stuff. I was thinking about the second relegation to slander this.
Of course,
man.
Of course.
Oh, bro, I hear you. You really don't rate him.
I don't rate him at all, man. I don't rate him at all.
I just think he's just always in these conversations. I hear what you're saying, because anytime someone recommends like a manager list, right? He's always on a list of some sort for like all of the teams around, 1st to 10th. He's always like mentioned. He's always spoken about.
Hey, I don't know, man. Maybe
look at his career. Like, you are low key right. He hasn't really done a whole lot.
You know what it is? He did.
Go on. I think I know.
He plays a style of football where until they score a goal, they average like 60 passes before they score a goal. So it's like everybody's like, look at the way it looks.
Good, yeah, but
that's
no, it's not good. People are blinded by his football, by the way. The man management sucks. His tactics are not. He's not adaptable, by the way. I haven't not seen adaptable from Marseille or Brighton. No, he wants certain type of players. See, people think Zerbi can come and Spurs with this squad. No, he needs certain type of players. We need what happened at. I have seen it. What happened at Marseille. See, Marseille have a quality to qualify for at least round of 16 in Champions League football, but they finished 24th or 25th.
25th.
This man. For me, he's man. That's why I never wanted Zerbi. When Liverpool linked with him, I said hell no, because I know this manager can't. Yes, he plays for 5 games, 3 to 4 games, good football, but that doesn't mean he can carry with that. We seen this guy bottle a Brighton team that is a very very good Brighton team, by the way. In Europa League, he can't win the cup, and he never win a cup at Shakhtar also. Take off Syria. He never win.
He won the community shield.
Community, yes.
Now you got at least you got the community shield, man. Come on, the major trophy.
And one more thing was more. Why can't Spurs do this? So yes, okay, he wanted Zerbi. Why can't do this before Igor Tudor?
Yes, he wasn't stuck at the time.
He wouldn't have been.
Yes, but they tried for Zerbi from long time. I understand it. You are giving full efforts right now. Why can't you give these full efforts before Igor?
You know what it is, just hit the nail on the head. They panic.
Because
Yes.
Because I said this like I've been saying, because obviously we remember the conversations when I said time ago Spurs can go get relegated. People wasn't trying to hear it, right? And that's fine, right? Because not everybody supports our football club, so they wouldn't be watching our games week in, week out. I mean, bless them, right? Not watching our games because Jesus is terrible. But those people who are at the board, like, they are the people who make the decisions. If I would have taught them that, you know what, if we're gonna continue like this, conversations about relegation is gonna be real, they would have reacted to me saying this the same way other people would have reacted to me saying this time ago. Now all of a sudden they're starting to realize, shit, we actually can get relegated, and now they're trying to find every solution possible. They know that there aren't that many managers out there in the free agent market that they can go and think that they're gonna be the guys who can keep us up, right? You can't go and get a manager. Well, you can, but then you have to think about, you have to pay the compensation Plus, you have to pay them. Like, look how much money we paying the Zerbi just to come here as a free agent. Imagine trying to get somebody from a different club, and you have to pay the compensation to get them out of the contract, and you have to bring all these. That's why they go on the free agent road, and there weren't already managers out there to begin with. So hence why they're panicking. They know that this dice thing doesn't make sense. The Zerbi thing doesn't make sense, but for them, the Zerbi is the better manager. So in their long-term solution. So
you think there is a manager that makes sense, just
is he though? No, he
no,
said.
I'm saying as from their perspective. I'm not speaking from my perspective.
Yeah. No, but I'm asking from your perspective. Do you think is there a manager you think, even if you don't think there's a manager that can save you, has the best chance at saving you? Like runs it close?
No, I don't think there is one. I think it's too late now. I'll be honest.
You reckon it's too late? You reckon the ship's sinking and it can't be saved?
Yeah, because I think this is because I thought this already. Because my problem was a lot of the solutions that can bring us up, keep us up. You already passed by the opportunities when you had them, and the opportunity that I'm speaking about is sucking.
You think it's the team?
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm thinking you had the opportunity to make sure that we can stay up comfortably. As if would have sucked Thomas Frank before January or during the January window. This was the only time when I felt like if you suck a manager, I think you can keep the team up because the medical team is just not going to change midway through the season. The whole 11 is just not going to change midway through the season. But what you can change is that you had a January window to bring new players in to help the team, but you can also bring in a manager midway through the season from a different club because at that time nobody was thinking that the club could get relegated. So you could have probably convinced, I don't know, a Marco Silva from Fulham to say,
I think you could have. I think people are underestimating that because Veta even saying there, large up flawless in the panel. Big up Veta. Make sure you subscribe to Veta Games TV. Managers to go to Spurs and get your money because Tottenham make serious history shows that I'm a lying. I think managers go there thinking they can be successful because they kind of they're not the top of the top when it comes to attracting play. But let's not act like Spurs ain't a big club and haven't attracted some big players before. Like it's not, and they pay decent, like in regards to player wages, transfer fees, etc. So yeah, go on, Jez, go on.
And obviously, it shows you the competency. It shows you the competence of the football club, right? Because of them showing 40 million for Gallagher when we only needed maybe somebody in to replace Bentancur, who was going to be out for a couple of weeks. But then to make it worse, you gave him 200k just because Villa was willing to give them. Villa was willing to go in for Gallagher, but we wanted Gallagher as well. So not only did you pay more money than what Villa wanted, Villa was willing to pay, but you also give them higher wages to convince them to come. Was this the right decision? Absolutely not. But that shows that if they want to, they can just go and give players the money. They can go and pay the money for the players if they want to. The issue is they do it more times than not for the wrong managers, but also for the wrong players. But we have the money. Trust me, like if you can convince most players to come to a football club if you're gonna pay them right, you can convince most managers to we've seen it literally with Zerbi. Zerbi, the whole thing was the club didn't want it to bring Zerbi didn't want it to come in during the season because he wanted to make sure the club doesn't get relegated. No, Zerbi is coming in with a 5-year contract. Why? Because we gave him the money. It's as simple as that.
No, that's fair. That's fair enough. No, go on, Charlotte. I know you got more you wanted to say on it. Go on, Charlotte.
It just really, really worries me, to be honest, because I feel like De Zerbi hasn't done well unless there is that structure in place. Like I mentioned before, I feel like obviously with De Zerbi and with Brighton in particular, they have that same system that they consistently play. They look for a manager who fits and can play that particular system, whether it's been the Graham Potter, whether it's a guy now, I cannot remember his name, by the way, for the life of me. The young Brighton manager now.
Oh, Hertzler.
Yeah. And then obviously De Zerbi, I feel like he's going into somewhere and Brighton consistently look for that. I feel like with Spurs, my worry is I don't know quite what Spurs' system is at the moment. I feel like every time Spurs get a new manager, they change the system rather than get a system and then look for a manager that fits that specific system. And I think Brighton are impeccable at that, to be honest. My worry is at the minute with Zerbi.
Cool.
I feel like Spurs, and I don't want to come across like I'm a Rochdale fan, so please, Spurs fans, do not take this the wrong way.
No. Just say how it's been. This is
I honestly feel like you need to get, if you personally think and you are fighting a relegation battle, you either need that experience of someone who has fought relegation battles before, or go down the Manchester United route where you get a club legend who cares about your club and has the club like first and foremost, like they care for it, they want the best for your club, and try and bring some in that way. I think Zerbi right now isn't the man to get you out of this relegation battle, because personally, I don't think he's been involved in a relegation battle, apart from what you said, Jez, where he was involved, and obviously the worst did happen. Where he succeeded the most, there's always been that structure in place. So I'm not calling Zerbi. I don't personally think he's right for this role, if I'm being honest. I think you even need to look for an experienced manager in the relegation battle, or go down to someone who genuinely cares for your club, because you might as well go down with a fight like that, because I don't think Zerbi is a man, if I'm being quite honest.
See, Charlotte, you're saying the right things, right? You're saying the right things here, but I said this earlier to one of my crew chats when we talked about it, and you know, how do I say it? Like, I said something along the lines here, how how the common sense with Tottenham, the word sense is not part of it, it's just common. Like, I don't know where the word sense went. Like, the word just left somewhere. So in the perfect world, the word go on.
The saying is common sense is not common. That's the saying.
Oh, there we go. Like, I don't know. Like I said, it was something along the lines, but and the thing for me is, in the perfect world, what you're saying is correct, right? That is like the correct thinking of what they should be doing. But everything that we think they should be doing, or I think they should have done, they don't do. They go completely the opposite direction. So, and this is the problem, and this is why I think this been for a couple of Q&As that have been on saying that, I'll be honest, even if we stay up, who's to say that we're not going to be here next season?
Yeah.
Because I don't. They have the only thing that showed me is that they do not learn from their mistakes during this period when Ange was here. Because the reason why I only use the Ange period is because these are new people that came in during the Ange period, and as we saw with the people period, they didn't do a good job either, but somehow they did a better job than the people that are here now. So again, and the worst part about it is, I'm not hearing any reports about if we get relegated or if we stay up that they would lose their jobs. I'm hearing news about how they want to add more people to it, which sounds crazy to me. So for me, I'll be honest, I can't even celebrate the thought of us possibly staying up, because one, Zerbi would be the manager. I can't stand the guy. And two, the same people who got us here in the first place are probably still going to be here.
Yeah.
And one more thing, if Spurs stay,
can I speak on this?
Go on, Prime. You go, and then Sai after, and then I'll give us. Go on, Prime.
Yeah, because the Zerbi has also been linked to Chelsea. I don't rate. I think he's a good coach, but like, I don't rate the guy. People like behave as if this guy's a potential world-class manager. So, and my only thing where I'd possibly be okay with him maybe coming to Chelsea, while this is before he got appointed for Spurs, was that like Bali for some reason likes him. So my hope was he would get appointed and then get rid of Winstanley and Stewart, and then he gets sacked himself. But with Spurs, him joining a club with no real structure is just a perfect recipe for him to explode, like, even early. If he's getting appointed now, who's to say he lasts until the end of the year? He could be gone by December.
Just what I said in
and
the
that's
group chat.
assuming he's even willing to stay. Yeah.
I said this in the group chat. That I don't see it even him staying past the year. To be honest.
Yeah, assuming he's even willing to stay. And also, I think you guys heard of the Brentford curse with managers, where manager that leaves Brentford, the managers that end up leaving Brentford end up failing.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, is that a real
I think
thing?
Brighton have, yeah, it happened with obviously Thomas Frank, who
was their manager before Thomas Frank?
Bro,
we're going far back, bro. That's like
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Look,
because I remember seeing. The only reason I know about this is because I remember this was back when Frank was manager with Spurs, and they're going through like the very bad patch, and someone was talking about the list of Brentford managers they've had about during this period of good recruitment they've had. This list of Brighton managers where when they end up leaving, they end up like doing badly and failing and stuff. And Dean Smith was on that list.
Did you mean Brentford or Brighton?
Brentford.
Are you sure?
Brentford. Yeah, because I know what he's talking about. I remember that.
All right, bro. I gotta question you on that, bro. Because I'm looking at the managers you mentioned, and I'm not seeing what you're saying. I can't lie.
No.
The manager I mentioned was Dean Smith. He went from
but you said multiple
Brentford,
managers have left Brentford and failed, but that's not true. Because I looked at the last 5 managers, and not all of them have left Brentford and failed. That's factually incorrect.
Are you trying to say Prime? Are you trying to say similar to like the Brighton stance that I had? Like, I feel like
I wanted to compare
these kind of clubs. They kind of build like Brighton are similar, but Brentford as well. Once they feel like, say, people are interested in either Thomas Frank or even a player like Ivan Toney, for instance, and Wisa, and even Mbumo. Once they feel like a player is getting recognised by a Premier League club or recognised by a lot of people, they then, their recruitment goes out and then they sign, like, you've got the likes of Thiago. They'll go and get the next up-and-coming thing, or they'll kind of scout the next up-and-coming thing. And now everyone's eyes are on Thiago. They've just recently signed a young teenager. I cannot remember where he's from, but they always have that plan in place. I think, is that what you're trying to say, Prime? Where there's always that kind of plan in place?
I was just trying to make a comparison of like there are 2 clubs who are like around mid-table-ish in the Prem, are very well run.
Yeah.
But managers, when they leave those clubs, tend to end up doing poorly when they leave because they take this supposed step up, but they end up joining clubs that are just not run as well, and they just end up 100%. Failing. So I don't like the Zerbi at Spurs. Spurs need to find out exactly what they actually want to be, because they end up bringing in a manager that doesn't.
They don't know what
they bring in a manager that since Poch, they brought in a manager that fits a particular style. They'll sign like a couple of players in the first window to back him. They won't back him the second window. Things will crash. The manager will get blamed. He'll get sacked. They'll bring in a different manager that plays a different style. They'll sell a few players, bring in a few players. They'll start well. And it's just the same repetitive cycle since Poch left. Yeah. And
but the funny part is,
you have to break. You need to figure out what you want to be as a club in terms of your model, your style of play, and then move towards that. I say the same thing about Chelsea. Since this ownership has come in, we don't have a real clear style of play. We just sign a bunch of we have a bunch of midfielders that can play good on the ball, but our defenders and goalkeepers can't do that. So there's no way we can really build out. We don't have any good wingers. You only have 1 striker now. We don't have a number 10. Like, it's just a mismatch of a poorly built squad. And I look at what Spurs are going through right now.
It's the same thing. And I've been saying this. I've been saying this since
Chelsea don't fix up. In 5 years, we could kind of end up in the same way. It continues building a poor squad, and then you have a terrible manager, and then you have a season where a few injuries you could just tank and end up in 15th. It's not. If you don't change, like, we could genuinely do that, which is.
And the thing for me is the funny part that you said that, right? Yeah, because I don't know how long I've been here on the channel. It's been a minute, probably 2021 or some shit.
From 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years I've been here around here, and I've been saying the same thing about Spurs for over the years, that how we don't have an identity, like we don't have anything how we want to build. Like for me, even if it for me, because which is funny. In the afternoon, which is funny because this is in the group chat where the majority of the people were Arsenal fans, so I didn't expect them to understand it from the get go, right? But some of them were saying how we should have never sacked Ange. Now I said, in a perfect world, if we would have kept Ange, we would have needed to also back him then properly in the summer, which we wouldn't have done. So, and I knew we wasn't gonna do it. So for me, I was fine with what's his name, Ange leaving. The problem was is that, and obviously Flores knew I was never high on Thomas Frank from the get go, even when we was linked to him. But I always felt to me like, okay, it was so bad with Ange. Let's see how Thomas Frank can do. But for me, preferably, I wanted the manager where you keep the same type of identity going with a new manager and just hope that the new manager brings something new to the team that we needed, like the defensive structure. But you keep the same type of mindset of what you wanted to do from squad building. But that's the problem. We don't know how to build a squad. Even under Ange, we didn't even bought the right players that was fitting his football. Like we bought what's it called? We bought Johnson under Ange when he doesn't fit his football. We bought this is funny because it's weird because we buy players who fit the football, but then we buy players who don't fit the football because you sign Udogie, you sign Van der Ven, who perfectly fit the football, right? But then you sign Brennan and you sign Tragus. You see what the problem is? It's the inconsistencies even with the managers that you have that you don't even build a squad even right with them. And then you expect to go with a new manager, a new style, and then you expect this squad to go all around. That's why I'm like this is not anything new. It's just that it just has gotten even worse now. And a lot of people just didn't want to see it until they had to see it. So again, like for me, I'm not really surprised. And if you get relegated, me personally, I don't necessarily, I do care, but the reason why I don't really care is because if they don't want to fix up, then for me it's like, why should I care? I'm just not the type of person.
Do you think that makes them fix up though, Jez, if you lot do go down?
That is.
You reckon they pattern up and go, all right, this is because that is worst case scenario that they didn't expect. As bad as they thought, all right, it could get relegated. So now relegated with everything that's going on and the impact that has not only on the footballing side of things, but the impact that has on, we know all about what the main thing is, most of these money-wise. We know the financial implications, especially in the stadium that you lot have and the investment that's taken. So you think that do you think that wakes them up and goes, oh yeah, shit, we need to get this together? But if we don't get promoted back straight away, that's also a big one because they need to bounce back straight away. They need to get promoted to the Premier League straight away. Go on.
In theory,
actually, because
most people,
go on, Bram, before I go.
In theory, you have a point, Flawless, but most people expect Spurs to get promoted straight away. So I don't like it. Should make them wake up. I don't think it will.
See, that's
so you still think they'll be sleeping prime if they get relegated? You don't think that wakes them up?
See, this is actually where I was going to go.
In theory, it should.
I think the way that hits their pockets, they gonna see that because they got Spurs like the second most expensive place to watch football in the country behind us.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
So you can't
wait, hold on, Flawless. Spurs just finished 17th last season. Why didn't they wake up?
Because they won the Europa League and they didn't hit their pockets.
And that's the thing.
I'm talking solely. Forget the footballing side of things. I'm talking strictly financial. When I say they wake up, because the way that's going to hit their pockets, they are going to see that on the chart. Forget going in the table from 6th to 17th. I'm talking about the amount of money they lose, the amount of revenue they lose is astronomical over a season. Somebody will put it together. Somebody will do a live stream on it and show what could happen. Because we're not only talking all your TV dates is gone. So forget that. European
I agree. They will lose mass money. But in terms to like fix
you're talking
Spurs
potentially
to
half a bill.
But
I think more to be honest.
To get back to where they were like a decade ago under Poch competing, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think
No,
they'll do
but
enough to try and get
no,
straight away.
but this is the thing. But this is the
They'll
thing
do
is that
enough
I
to
feel like
come straight away.
no.
If that's what you mean
See,
before,
but this is where I slightly disagree though, Prime. I don't even think that, and this is obviously question to Flo's question. I don't think it's gonna wake them up, to be honest. If I'm being real, people obviously before Levy left, right? Obviously, everybody used to think that Levy is the owner, right? But Levy is not even the actual owner of the football club. It's Enoch and the Enoch group, right? And obviously Joe Lewis is not part. Joe Lewis is not part of the but he pretty much he left. I think his daughter is not running the football club. He's just sitting back in his yard and just doing whatever, right? Just being a fraud. But at the time when he was still paying somewhat attention to the football club, the guy came to one of our game in the home stadium and he asked one of the people next to him which kid is Spurs playing in. He doesn't even know. This is the type of ownership that we have where the actual owner didn't know in which kid we play in. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't even think it's a guarantee that we come up next season, to be honest, if we go down. I don't think it's a guarantee if we really ask.
Wait. No, wait.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish, man. Fucking hell. Nah, but I don't think it's a guarantee that we come straight up. Yes, even though we lose the money that we're gonna have, even the stadium prices, season tickets, everything, they will have to lower them. There's no chance they can go and charge crazy amount because they're still gonna charge crazy amount. People are most definitely not gonna they're gonna have people coming just because people need football right in their lives, but it's not gonna be nowhere near the same level. And it's been already reported how we already lost some sponsorships because of the poor performances over the last few seasons, not just this season. Talk about the Nike sponsor. You're talking about the players' wages. Like I think Austin has already reported if we get relegated, every player loses 50% of their current wage. And think about the fact that a lot of these players do not get paid high to begin with, far few. So you would wonder how many of these players want to really stay here. Not that I really care about if they want to stay, but think about that situation. You talk about the fact that we still don't have.
I think that's what it's dependent on with Spurs. How many of the players can you keep? If you can keep,
I'll be honest.
Half, I think you go back up if you keep half. And when I say that, I'm talking obviously about your better players.
I'll be honest. The problem is that this is the weird spot, right? Because it's not that I rate these guys highly personally, but in the footballing world, they are very highly. If let's say an argument say we go down, Van der Ven is 100% going to find a new club who want to come in. Romero is going to find a new club. Adobe, I don't know because he's been always injured, so I don't know with Adobe. Kudus, shit, you know how many football clubs would be in for Kudus. Even guys like Solanke, Richarlison, Koulibaly is going to go back on loan. Vicario has already been linked to Inter Milan already. So even though yes, these groups of players are probably going to keep us down, a lot of people forget these guys are actually still very highly rated as individuals. So me personally, I still think you can keep a good level of the team, but I believe you would lose the better players, in my opinion. I think the only better player that you maybe can keep is obviously our youngster centre back that we currently have at Hamburg, who is really good. I think you can keep Kudus, but it might be one of the situations where you will have to tell him you just have to hold it for one season, and you're getting sold next season. Then, what's his name? I don't think we keep Xavi. I think Madison would stay because he also just came back from
That's
the PCL.
But I think there'd also probably be a couple of surprises, in there, just in regards to there'd be players who look at and go, you know what, they're 100% leave, and then they end up staying for and you're like, oh, such and such. I think you only need, I reckon if 4 or 5 of your better players stay, I think you get promoted. Bear in mind, like Charlotte mentioned as well, it's top 8 it's the top 8
for the next season. Yeah,
I think.
By the way,
I don't think it'd be that low. But go on.
Low-key, I think that's woke nonsense that they're doing this, but that's a different argument. But,
yeah, definitely woke. Yeah. That even woke nonsense, just straight nonsense. Lose the woke. It's just nonsense.
But hold on a second. See, obviously, because this is the problem, right? I've never been in this situation before, right? So I can't really say. But I think the reason why I'm probably just because I'm just very down on the team just in general, but also partly because who's to say that we're gonna add the right players that we need to come straight back up again? Like there has not been a single rumors about people from the board members possibly getting sacked yet. Not even a single rumor. When in reality, all of these guys should have walked out together with Thomas Frank. Actually, I tell a lie. I've been too nice. A lot of these guys should have left and Ange got sacked. Like, there's no way that these guys came in during the Ange period, but Ange is the only one who gets punished for it.
Yeah.
So for me, I just don't know, to be honest.
I get it. Yeah. I get it. Go on, sir. I think we was going to say before we move on. Go on, sir.
You said, fellas, if they go down, they will care more, right? Why do you think like that? Because they stayed in the Premier League, they didn't care, right? They got more money and they didn't care. See, they are losing at approximately 300 million pounds if they go down. Approximately. That is BBC now. They reviewed it. The BBC said that is the figure they lose. If they are losing that type of money, they know that. Why do you think they care more about after going down? Before they didn't care, right?
Because they've not lost it. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about from a money perspective. I think that makes you pattern up as bad as they are at making decisions, as they've shown with Thomas Frank and how long it took to sack him. Then Igor Tudor, then potentially the Zerbi. I'm talking about that will hit their pockets because I think it's more than 300 million they lose.
Oh, it's gonna be more because you have to think about.
I think you double that and you become close because that don't take into the.
That's only TV revenue, fellas. That is only TV revenue.
So if you're taking out over half a bit, so if you're losing over $500 million, even an idiot, that makes you go, hey, you know what? That's hurting my pockets. That's X amount we're not getting. So even on, I see them reacting is what I'm saying. Does that mean they make the right decision? No. But I'm saying them caring and just even on accident stumbling across something that half works. Like that's where it is.
Yes.
That's where I'm at with it.
Yes.
I think with Spurs, I think they have to get promoted in the first year. If they don't, I think they could be stuck in like the abyss of the championship because most people would expect them to win it next year, right? That would be the consensus.
To
win the championship.
That would be.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think they'll win it. I think they'll end up in this playoff thing. And what people don't realize is for clubs that are like championship and below, when they play Prem sides, particularly the top 6 sides, they actually like turn up and perform because they want to win. Imagine a top 6 side in the championship. Do you not think that's going to be hell for how much? 42 games. Do you not think that's going to be hell? So I don't. So this guarantee of like Spurs will come up. I think it's a guarantee. Even if them caring and trying to like build a proper squad or whatever, which I don't even trust they're going to do. I don't think they come up in the first year. I really don't. I think they'll get into a playoff.
The only way. A lot of them, and rightfully so. Like shit. Hopefully, but
wait, what do you mean? Hopefully, this guy spent about 3 hours in the group chat chatting to me about how good some of these players are.
Don't do this. No.
And now these players
don't put words in my mouth, bro. I never said that these guys. Hold on. No, you just landed. Hold on.
I'm just chilling, mate.
Hold on. Go on. First of all, I'll let you literally just land there. I never said that these guys are this high. And how many times have I said that these guys, regardless what happens, need to go this season? How many times have I said that? Just because I think that just because I said I think this team is currently better than the team that Eddie Howe took over. All of the sudden, I rate this team. This fucking Newcastle team was shy. So what are we doing?
That team.
Wait, which side? Wait, hold up before you man carries back. Newcastle when was this?
When Eddie Howe took the team over.
No, we need to.
When did Eddie Howe take over?
In 2021.
No, like when in the season? Like was it November. So, okay, because he took over they was in the Premier League, right?
still in the Premier League, but they were in the relegation talk.
He was
No,
he
but
was
we need to-
he was battling
but we need to-
relegation because
and-
of
and-
Ready.
and-
I
we
get
need
you.
to put-
Go
we
on,
need to
carry
put
on.
I remember, and
We need to put
that
context in the conversation.
no, because for me, the whole conversation was how they can literally go down. And my point in that conversation was, the point of the conversation was is that team right there, nobody rated those Newcastle teams, and all of a sudden, Eddie Hall comes in, helps them go up.
He was the manager.
But my point.
What's it?
I don't even remember. Sorry, what was it? Bruce? Would have been Bruce, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that team. We were saying was gonna get packed
No,
up. Yeah, I remember.
nobody-
Yeah.
nobody
We didn't
rated
rate that team. We didn't rate that team before.
So for me,
that's the
it's
Emery
because-
Villa effect.
Because
We didn't rate
yes,
that team.
and see, you know what's funny? You know what's funny about that Flores? Because I used Villa and I used I think one more other team where I said how nobody rated those teams when they were in those relegation zones.
Facts.
3 managers came in, and all of a sudden the whole opinions have changed about these
No, but
teams.
my point was also those teams are better than this current Spurs team with the
And
injuries.
this is where I
included.
disagree. Those
No,
teams.
but the form table. My point was the form table. When I was talking about those
I-
teams, no, this is the context he's missing out. When I was talking about those teams, my point was the form table. The last 3 seasons of those teams was still way better performing.
But
than
I'm
this
talking
right
about.
now.
I'm talking
Team
about.
finished 17th twice.
And I'm talking about.
Twice. And this guy was trying to tell me
Hold on.
players are that much better than that.
And I'm
team.
talking specifically. Hold on, Brian. And I'm talking specifically about the season. I don't give a damn about the form table. I'm talking. What does this?
And they're not doing anything this season either. My point was those other teams have done more in that in terms of- in a stretch of time than your team.
Who cares about the previous season? No, hold on, Prime. Who cares about the previous season when I talk about the particular season right now? It's not like the Spurs team from last season. It's not the same Spurs team from this season. If this was the same manager, you would have the same point. You would have a fair point.
The reason I brought it up is because you mentioned Emery took over this team and did this with it, or Eddie Howe took over this.
I used multiple. I used these teams. I used those teams. As I said, I use those teams as an example because let's not change the narrative. Even if the form table said these teams performed over a 2-season period, they performed better than our team. Let's not change the narrative. At the time, nobody was rating Watkins. Nobody was rating John McGinn. Nobody was rating whoever was in goal. Nobody was rating those teams. This was my point.
I remember no one rating that Villa side and the Gerrard and that Newcastle side.
That is all cool. So are you telling me that people are rating this Tottenham?
So you agree?
So hold on, Vikram, people do rate this Tottenham. No,
he doesn't.
All I've heard on social media is this team is crap and they deserve to go down.
Are we not also acting as if people don't rate players in this first team? People still don't rate.
Wait. Prime, no, not with these injuries. No, people don't.
Maybe like 2 or 3, but like
no. I didn't say every. No, it's the players I mentioned. I said Kudus, Romero, Van de Ven.
Oh, if they had all their players fit, yes. But with this, we were having current side was saying right now, do people rate? No, because people genuinely think they're going down.
No. I only mentioned like 3 because we're talking about players in those previous Villa Newcastle teams.
Yeah,
I've just mentioned 3 players now that people are saying that Spurs get relegated, that they rate. If that Villa and Newcastle got relegated, there's no one in that team people are saying that they rate.
Well, we're saying,
however, I think
that's not the point. No, we're talking about players that are fit. The players that people would take from Spurs are fit.
Right cool. Van de Ven.
Who are the players that are fit? Because if Kulusevski and Maddison are fit, most people say yes, Spurs are surviving. Maddison and Kulusevski are all available right now. Most people would say
but that's why I didn't mention Kulu or Maddison. It's Van de Ven not fit to play.
But that's what I'm saying. Based on the conversation we were having, that was my whole point. No, but that was my whole point. Based on he's fit now. But based on the conversation we were having, my point was
he was fit even.
What Spurs have produced the last 2-3 seasons when they've had this group of players specifically, they've not done anything for me to suggest that.
This is what I say. Even if this is the case, it's a group of players over multiple seasons that those teams have performed better than the current Spurs fan of the last 2 seasons. Fine, that's cool. But I'm talking about in the actual period, which even proves low-key even my point. If those teams was performing over a longer period better, but just in that season were terrible, shouldn't have people just not giving them the benefit of the doubt about these players, that these players should have been, now these players are not this
you know
part,
that's a good point, and you actually made that point in the group chat, and I told you that it's not one season, it's two seasons in a row. So we can't just say it's a one-off season.
But then I also said this is two different managers. How we shouldn't be able to also consider that part, considering the fact that you had a different style of play with two different managers. These things impact, and then on top of the fact that we had all these injuries. I don't know how injured the Villa teams were, but those teams weren't as injury prone as our team was as well. On top of that. But even besides the point,
okay, so if you know that those teams weren't injury prone, then why were you saying that this team was better than them? So now you're just
because you don't get my point. My whole point at the time was those people at the time when Villa was where they were, Newcastle where they was. I think there was one more team that I used as an example. Man wasn't rating those players. I remember the conversations where man was saying Richarlison is better than Watkins. Was this not the conversation? I remember conversations when John.
Two things can be right at the same time. People can say they weren't rating the players, but those players collectively, if you put them, okay, maybe this is a dumb comparison, but if you put them in this current Prem team with this Spurs team battling relegation with them, I think they have a better chance of staying up than this current Spurs team.
I disagree because of the shit show with the managers that they have done over the last two managers now.
Yeah, but those managers are still better. Jez, your team employed Igor Juda, Thomas Frank. You said it yourself. You don't rate either of those two. You didn't rate Anjiva towards the end because you said he was too stubborn. He didn't want to change.
Yes.
So you know that you don't rate those managers and you don't rate the team. And how can you tell me with a straight face that those teams are better than the two teams I mentioned?
Because because again, this is not what I'm arguing about. If you think those teams are so much better, fine. But my point is the perception. This is the right word. This is the word I use. I use the word perspective of how people view those players. I think these group of players currently are good enough to stay up. But with all the things that are around it, everything with the context of this current situation, with the manager shit show that they had, and the fact that the complete morale of the team is also at the point where a lot of these guys don't even look like they necessarily care. Hence why we are in the situation where they are right now. But I think these players are still good enough to keep us up. And my point with those teams that I use as an example is that at the time, nobody was thinking before they made the right manager changes. Nobody was thinking that these teams was going to stay up. You thought that Villa was going to stay up. You thought that Newcastle was staying up. This was not the conversation at the time. It wasn't. What are we doing here? We wasn't talking about.
It wasn't a conversation.
And then I made the point and then I made the point about how Eddie Howe came in and how Emery came on for those two Pacific clubs. All of a sudden, they're doing well, and everybody's starting rating those players again. So I'm saying, even though I don't rate these guys as high as even other Spurs fans do, I don't even rate these guys as high as other Spurs fans do. But I still think these guys are also not this bad to the point where these guys are as bad as they're shown right now and they're gonna go and get relegated. I'm specifically just talking about just this season, and I'm talking about those two teams and this season when they were competing for relegation. Fine. It's cool if you want to talk about over multiple seasons, want to talk about how the Villa team was performing better over a longer period, and how us, the Spurs team, this current Spurs team, last season and this season have been performing around the same level. But then I look into the consideration. I put into consideration that you had two different managers who both have massively impacted the team on a negative impact. If this was still Ange this season and this was still happening, then I would sit here and say, you know what, that's fair. This is then maybe just the level of this team, but I disagree. And this was Prime's point about. Look at how many players who are in this current team, and look at how many teams are interested. Like, if we go down how many players of this current Spurs team is currently available right now, look at how many of these players picked up. I've seen Van der Ven getting linked to Liverpool, Barcelona. I'm seeing Romero getting linked to the biggest clubs in the world. Even guys like RG Gray and Papa Matic.
But now you're adding multiple players.
No. I'm saying
now you're saying
I'm saying that clearly these guys have ability. But I think when you have the situation where you had multiple managers come in who ended up just not being the right fit, these are the things that can just happen then.
Yeah,
And
so
this is
you basically said
the same thing. And
extenuating
this is the same thing. And
circumstances.
this is
You said
yes.
multiple. You said multiple managers. You said off the pitch stuff. So like morale is in general very low. You said that the managers that they brought in also haven't helped. You said that obviously Frank Tudor, Ange, they weren't the right guys at the time. But you're saying that the other two teams that they benefited from better circumstances behind the scenes and they had better managers come in at the time.
No, they were also affected from the fact that they had bad managers, made the changes, made right additions in January in order to turn their seasons around. But this is also, but yes, they had. You don't think that
made multiple signings in January to help turn their season around.
By the way, this was the season when they signed Guimaraes, Isak, and Trippier in the same January window. By the way,
the same.
Yes, it is. Go and check.
Okay.
This is Isak, Guimaraes,
Isak, Trippier, and Guimaraes. They signed them all three in January.
Yes, but this is when Saudi came in.
Oh, okay, so they sacked Bruce. They brought in Saudi. Then they added. You said they did all of that. Then yeah, that's different. That's different to the circumstance that the Spurs team is in right now. But then that would even prove the point further that team, if you count those players that they brought in January, then that team was never in danger of going down if they did all of that.
With those players, but
I don't know what Villa did though. I'd have to go back and check.
No, Villa I'll tell you this for free because that was the whole thing with Amorim and stuff, and I used Emery. All they did was sign a left back. They signed Digne in January. That's it. They did nothing else.
I forgot about
Gerrard, that team that Emery took over from Gerrard. All they did, they was getting. I remember those conversations. It was that team's getting relegated. It's a championship level side. They signed Digne in January, and that was it. They did nothing else. Most of that team, like Nephew H will tell you, like in the chat. Nephew will tell you in the chat. A lot of that team's still there now. He's been saying this. He's been saying we need to get those teams out. Or was it Moreno? My bad. See, I knew it was a fullback. It wasn't even Digne. Yeah. It was Moreno. There we go. It was Moreno. I was giving him too much. I was giving Villa too much credit in regards to the player they signed. It was Moreno or even Digne. Digne is obviously afterwards, so they signed Moreno. And that team, everyone was championship level side. So a manager can make the difference because we can look at it and go, yeah, that team is a championship level side, as we did with that Villa team. And all of a sudden, he got him into Europe. It's not like they escaped on the last day and finished 17th or 16th. They finished 7th. Yeah, and then they carried it, and then they kicked on from there. Yeah, 100%. Look, Martinez, Cash, Konza, Mings, Digne, Kamara, Luis, McGinn, Buendia, Bailey, Watkins.
That's basically the majority of these guys even start or are at least valuable squad players at the time. But most of these guys, we were saying these guys are relegation.
That's still their back five now for the most part. Yeah, obviously, take out Mings at points. That's their back five.
Yeah,
Kamara still plays now. You know what I'm saying? McGinn is McGinn.
McGinn plays.
Watkins is still there now.
Plays, yeah.
And Bailey is
like
part of the squad.
Core, but like Emery came and was like, all right. And we seen it with Carrick. Look what Carrick's done for us. Carrick's walking a fucking cloud 9 to the point we're saying, hey, you know what? If he gets the job, we hear it, type of thing. But you're not entertained. Run up the likes, people. Make sure you run up the likes.
Just what we do, man. We entertainment.
So you subscribe to Charlotte's channel as well. The link's in the title, people. Shout out to all of y'all. Very welcome. Linked in the title underneath. Yeah, man went from McGinn to McGinn-Iniesta. Now we look at him as one of the best midfielders in the league.
Before I don't want to drag this out, but this is the one point I have to mention that this guy Vikran said, I don't rate this squad, but he's backing this Spurs squad. In group chat, I asked him because they got bullied by Nottingham Forest, and this Vikram guy said, I trust them, they stay up because they got squad. Why are you mentioning 2 points there? You don't rate this squad, and you are mentioning they will stay up.
Yeah, because I'm looking at. Okay, now this guy's removing the context again. I said,
that's what I said. No.
When they get their players back, they're going to improve because I don't.
No, they are not getting players back. No. I don't want this go again. I already said it. And I don't want to drag this again. We will stop this. I see now Vikram is moving in the group chat. I went off and they Jess and Vikram continued, and I had enough. See this.
To be fair, when I literally just joined, like at the time, he did say that the teams around us here,
Just I'm not
teams
mentioning.
around us are not.
No. I haven't seen that. But what I'm mentioning is, we are having a Dutch conversation. I asked him. He said, "Did you see what happened against Forest? They got bullied." He said, "Yes, they got bullied." And he said they don't have good squad. But this guy again saying they can play Dutch ball and they can win. They can stay up.
I would, hey, you know what?
Let's continue this another day.
I've
Are we
said
in
this.
a different?
I got outside
okay,
interest in them staying up, but I think they can. But
guys,
before we move on, big up to everyone in the chat. You know what I'm saying? That yes, friend, man, you already know, man. Sarcasm City TV. You never know what's gonna happen. I never thought
I think that
a 30-40 minute debate, but this is what the group chat's like with Jez and Vic and Sai on a regular basis.
I've realized what it is now. I've realized that we live in a different planet, and Jez and Sai are from Jupiter. And we're all from Mars.
That's fine, man.
Because these guys are talking. These guys are talking.
No. Because no. We are not from Jupiter. We don't live. No. Before Prime, 1 minute.
That is
no. I live in. I am not delusional. I'm not delusional. You are living in hope. Vote to flawless. We know where hope lives. I said in the group chat also. You are living in hope. It's hope.
Hey, shout out to Hope. She's making a living for herself in it. So big up Hope. We know where.
Yes, it's hope. There are no facts. There are no facts.
No. We're not.
See, that's why I said I don't want this to continue because it will go another hour. I don't want this to go another hour. No.
I think a big thing being left out of the conversation is what Villa and Newcastle had is they appointed a manager that ended up being one of the best in the Prem. I don't see Spurs being able.
No, but Prem. Forget all of that. The conversation is so basic.
Because you're talking even with Spurs' squad, even with the injuries, Spurs should, on paper, still have a squad good enough to be nowhere near where they are right now.
No, but when I was making a point about the other teams and how they're not that good, these guys kept talking to me about physicality this, physicality that. Meanwhile, it's only
that was about the John Dyche conversation, though.
Yeah, because you guys are talking like you need 11 basketball players to play Sean Dyche football. No, you don't, bro. You just need a competent team that can play 4-4. Most teams in the league could play 4-4
Hey, you man, drawing a line in the sand in this.
I just want to do a last line.
Go on, last line.
Last line. That's why we seen. See, Forest got. I will say Forest got good team. They sat Dyche. That is better than Spurs squad. And you telling me this Spurs squad can play Dutch football and stay up? No.
Okay.
Hell no.
My last line.
Let's just go. Last line.
Because I am actually the Spurs fan that actually watches our games. When I actually want to watch our games, I have seen my team know they can't play Sean Dyche football, and I keep it at that.
Cool. All right, we'll keep it stepping. Prime, we'll go to you. Cole Palmer conversation again linked to Manchester United. Again, apparently he's disillusioned. He came out, I believe, I seen an Instagram post. I believe it's true. Obviously, correct me if I'm wrong. It might not be where he said it's news to him. But what's your thoughts on the whole Cole Palmer conversation? Because it never seems to go away. Talk to us. Yo, you there, Prime?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter. He's not going to go.
Okay.
Even if he did want to go. No. Even if he did want to go, the money that we'd want to sell him for, I don't think United would be willing to pay. Also, I don't think United should buy him anyway. There's better players that you guys can get. So,
why are you done with Palmer? Where are you at with Palmer?
Palmer's had, once the season ends, it's 3 full seasons. And I'll be real. For most players that have had a 3-year span like this, we're talking about how they're overrated and they're actually not that good, and they had a purple patch for a year.
Yeah.
But people still rate Palmer as one of the best. So
he just gets protected in it by the media.
Not only like on the rumors, but where are you at with him as a player? Sorry, go on, bro.
He's a talented player.
But even with Palmer, but talent is all great, but it doesn't mean anything if you're not producing. People will talk about the injury, but then people also say he's playing because he wants to make it to the World Cup squad. but yet he doesn't deserve to be in the World Cup based on his performances. But he'll go because England don't really have better options. As much as I'm annoyed by him, he is still our, I'd say, second best attacker, which again is a poor reflection on the squad Chelsea have. And also, if we sell him, I don't think we actually will actively go out to try and replace him.
Yeah.
Based on like this quality or world classness that he's supposed to have, we're not going to go out and buy a player adequate enough to replace it. It's like the same thing I say about Enzo. I would like to sell him, but also I know he brings goals in the team, and if we sell him, we're not going to replace him with a player that brings goals. Our forward line, barring João Pedro, doesn't get goals. The Lap doesn't score. Neto doesn't score. Garnacho doesn't score. Gittins is injured. And Estevao doesn't really play much. So we don't get goals anywhere else. So that's why I've learned not to really get onto Enzo, because at least he will score and he'll provide me something. If he goes, we don't replace his goals. If Palmer goes, we don't replace his goals. And those few players on a consistent basis, people will argue don't always perform the best, but yet they still give me something as opposed to nothing. And if they go, then I end up having nothing.
Yeah, in regards to the Palmer side of things, do I believe it? No. Let me just clarify that straight from the jump. For people like, he's not going anywhere and there and all this, because Chelsea fans like will be unhappy about the links, but then tell you that he's poor and you should get better or whatever the case may be. But let me just start off there. Do I believe these rumors are true? No. I think the rumors stem from his poor form. I think that's where it is. I think if Palmer was flying and playing well, I don't think you hear this as much. I think it's people trying to come up with a reason as to why his form is so poor. Is it homesickness? Is it injury? Is it the manager? Is it the players around him? Is it tactics, etc.? Because nobody be able to see nobody able to gauge. I've heard so many different reasons as to why he's in poor form. Do I rate Palmer? Yes. But is his form over the last 18 months concerning? Absolutely, extremely. And I'm someone who's sold on Palmer. Like, I'm a big fan. I've waxed lyrical about Palmer and how much of a fan I am of him, and I think he's a quality player. And Victor's not having it. He's saying everyone's got a price. Flawless is yours for 60. Yeah. Now, if you're telling me 60 million, even though I don't believe that would be the case, let me clarify that. If he was available for 60, yeah, you look at that. I would take him for 60 million. So Jay Simpson, who says, go on. We'd
ask for more than double that, by the way.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. That's why I wouldn't go anywhere.
Or so, like, also, this talk that people say that this is his only bad season.
You broke up. Say that again, Prime. This is only what?
Or it's only this season. When people say this is his only bad season, or it was only the second half of last season and this season, that's not true. He's only had one very good season at Chelsea. And that season resulted in Chelsea finishing 6th with no trophy. We didn't result in anything productive for Chelsea. I've seen players at Chelsea pack GA. It didn't result in anything. And Chelsea fans were acting as if this is the Hazard replacement. He gets into our all-time 11. He's this great. It resulted in nothing. I've seen Juan Mata have a better season for Chelsea in 11-12. Take away the Champions League and FA Cup that we won. The goals he put up, the assists he put up is better than what Palmer did that year. Like, Palmer, I can't even keep defending it, because at least the first half of last season, he was getting goals. But his performances were still bad. And no Chelsea fan spoke about it but me, because he got 4 goals against Brighton and a hat-trick and whatever, and people were saying, oh, it's great. It wasn't.
I hear it.
It wasn't.
And
so
Jay Simpson,
if he wants to go to Man United, then I don't know. Like, if he wants to go to Man United, like, part of me is saying fuck off, but another part of me is saying we won't replace you, so I'll be annoyed if we sell him. So it's a very frustrating thing I'm at with the ownership, because
I hear it.
Even the players that are underperforming are still our best players, and we can't replace them. It's annoying.
And to Jay Simpson, who says, Flawless, where's Palmer going to play specifically if you buy Tonali, got Cunha and Bremo, Kobe and Bruno? Wide right. Or he could play in the 10. You know what that brings? Competition for places. But if he wants to sign him, again, let me clarify this. I don't believe this happens. I have to state that each time I talk about it. For someone says there's no way you're going to sign him, I actually agree. Play him wide right. He's also an option in the 10 as well. Competition for places. We should have 2 quality players for each position on the team. So if you're telling me you're adding someone the quality of Palmer at the right price, I'm all for it. Again, do I believe it happens for the reasons that Prime mentioned as well? They would ask for 100+ million. I don't think he's worth that. As much as I rate him, I don't, especially coming off of what we say in 2 years, well, a year and a half, 2 years of bad form if this season continues. He's had 2 bad seasons in a row. And they're asking for 100+ million.
Oh, Flores, I'll go on further. I'll go on further. People will say his stats and that, but he's not performed well in a long time. Like I don't remember the last time I watched Palmer and I went, "Oh yeah, he actually played. He actually balled out for like the whole game." He's been obviously he'll get stats. He'll get like the Wolves hat trick. He'll get games like that, but he hasn't had a good all round performance in a minute. Like,
bro,
it's been.
I'll say this.
Months.
Up until like when Maresca left, because since then I've not really acknowledged Chelsea. I don't care. But when Maresca was here this season, we for the most part we played better without him. Like
That's mad.
No, it is mad because we still stunk then too. But like it's just whatever, man. Like it's just a pack of mid at Chelsea. So
big up
but watch this watch this fan base get gassed. If we finish 5th and we get linked to a big money attacker or whatever, people will get gassed. People will get gassed and act as if this doesn't matter. And we've signed this player who'll help unlock Palmer. Do we need to sign all of Palmer's friends? You signed Tosin, he's shit. You've signed Delap, he's shit. If we get Morgan Rogers, is he going to turn out to be shit too, just to keep Palmer happy? No.
Big up Sorafel for the super chat. Appreciate you, Sorafel. It's been a minute as well, so I hope you're blessed. Big up. Blue Core putting out the stars as bait to sell the scrubs. It's too much of a coincidence that Palmer, Cuckoo, and Enzo spoke in that manner. What did Cucurella say? I missed that. And Palmer's not said anything either.
He said something along the lines that if Barcelona was coming, it would be hard to turn them down.
He want to, yeah.
Oh, see? Yeah, so it's 2 because Palmer's not said anything publicly. But yeah, I don't think it's that. I think players go on international break and just lose their fucking minds, to be honest. They just need to show.
Palmer hasn't said anything. Cucurella said about going back to whatever, and he said, yeah.
About Barcelona.
Turn down. And also Enzo. Yeah, and also Enzo was talking about how something about weather and how like Spain is comparable to Buenos Aires in Argentina or something like that. Listen. And funny enough, Chelsea fans are for some reason are saying let's sell Cucurella because we have Pato. So yeah, whatever. People this is why I say there
broke up again, Prime.
Cucks in the fan base because these people will back. That's why I say there's cucks in the fan base because the fans will back us selling like quote unquote our best players. But then when they go and we're left with the shit next season and the season after, they'll then complain that this ownership sold the best players, not forgetting that you guys backed them signing shit players and selling our better players. The people who were saying sign Garnacho because he's a good squad player are now saying that he offers nothing. The people who said sign Delap because he's brilliant are now complaining that he offers nothing.
Shout out to
the same people.
Before you go, Jed, to Jay Simpson's Cat Life Flawless, you're losing your mind. Palmer isn't a better than Bruno in the 10. I never said this. I said options. I can't believe I have to explain this, Jay Simpson, and you're my guy. Options. So having Bruno and Palmer is better than just having just Bruno. That's the point I'm making. If you look to your bench and Bruno's starting, and you have, let's say United's front 4 is Bruno and Bremo, Sesko, Cunha. And then you look to the bench and it's Ahmad, Xerxes, Dorgu, and Palmer. Guess what? That's a good bench to have. That is individual players, any of those 4, all of those 4 are a combination that can change games. That's the point I'm making. So if Palmer's available, again, this is key, at the right price, 100+ million. Absolutely fucking up because it's not a need. But if someone of that caliber becomes available, despite his poor form, I kind of look at how it is with the Camavinga thing, even though Camavinga's more injury. There's certain players I look at where I make exceptions to a rule because of their quality. So if they're available, man, are talking 50, 60 million for Camavinga. Fuck their injuries. Despite that, you go and sign him. You make that, and
I
that's
hear
the
you.
same with Palmer. I run it if again Palmer at the right price. Do I believe they sell him cheap? No. But if Palmer's available for 60 million, name me a better 10 you can get or a better right winger you get for that money. In terms of just
Yeah,
quality.
I hear that. The
Floyd's
quality
not wrong.
aspect is mad low.
Floyd's not wrong.
Palmer's-
However, can I just say the
Go on.
fact that we're having conversation that Palmer is he better than Bruno, and people still want to tell me he's world class, it's crazy.
Yo, Prime, you know what
I
it
hear
is.
that.
Nah,
I say
Bruno
this.
world class, man. Sorry, go
I say
on.
this about Spurs fans, man, and my fan base, man. You know the saying, man, every hotel got that one chair, man. I said every hotel got that Spurs chair.
Oh, I hear
Same
you.
thing with Chelsea. It's you know what I'm saying. Like I said, if you know about the chair in the hotel, yeah, man.
Bro,
Also,
Can you lot keep this PG-13, please, man? Like, am I talking about
Bro.
so many chairs and all this?
That's
You
actually
know,
that was actually
the rest
pretty
of
clean,
man
to be
watching that are underage, man. Like, you might need to
Hey,
chill.
I mean,
a bit.
you
Alright,
lot
right,
can
right.
speak.
I'll
You lot can
be-
speak
wait,
to
hold
the
on.
here.
I'll
To
be
back
real.
up Jez, if you're watching this and you're young, it says literally in the back, hey, if you are easily offended, this is not for you.
Yes.
You're gonna basically hear this.
No, Phil, it's not even that. In the UK, at least, anyway. I don't know about anywhere else in the world, but in the UK, it is 10-1 in the morning on a Monday night. It's a school
Yes.
night. You should not be watching if you're a kid. I don't care. You should not be watching. Go sleep.
Yeah.
So
Go play Fortnite or some shit.
yeah, go play
Say,
Roblox.
play
or something.
Fortnite.
Roblox. Play Roblox.
Roblox.
No, don't
You
go.
said
Don't go.
you'll learn a hell of a lot here. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, no, I can't.
You'll learn a hell of a
It's a
lot.
disclaimer. It's a disclaimer. Don't play Roblox, man. There's some really weird people on there lately. Like, don't go on there. Don't go on there.
Also,
Just are you telling from experience? No. Just are you telling from experience?
I read about it.
This is right. There are some
last
very
week.
weird people.
I saw some stuff on the timeline last week, and yeah, it's dark.
Yeah.
but yeah,
But it's okay to have
Enzo does
but it's
go-
okay to have options. But Palmer will play about 12 games because he's become injury prone. So it'd be Bruno. I literally just said he's an exception to the rule. Like how I look at Camavinga, even though I think Camavinga is a much better player, I will roll the dice. If Palmer's available, let me clear this up. If Palmer's available at the right price, you go and sign him because of the quality he possesses, despite his poor form, despite his injury record. You know why? Because if you get it right, you have one hell of a player on your hands for cheap. So I hear the reservations. I've said he hasn't played well in the past 18 months. Call it 2 years if when the season ends, whatever the case may be. But if he's available, if it's 60 million for a player of his, again, just his talent and just his quality, I'm a risk taker. I run the risk of that because if you pull it off, then you've got one hell of a player. If you don't, you can still sell him. Same way I look at Camavinga. It's against the rules that I normally have in regards to signing players, but there's certain players who are that talented. I go, all right, yeah, roll the dice. Again, at the right price. Same way if we were signing Camavinga and he was asking for 100 million, I'd say hell no. But they talking 50, 60 million for Camavinga, who I rate very highly. Run the risk. Oh, he's been injured. All right. You gotta roll the dice.
Real Madrid, if you really want Enzo Fernandez, give me Tchouameni.
Roll the dice.
Bro, like, you see, even when that Enzo guy's coming out chatting all that rubbish, bro.
Yeah,
you see what happens now, Prime. I need to go on a rant. You see what happens when the level of football drops so much that you got a man like Enzo talking like he's some top level world class player. This guy was talking about Real Madrid and Barcelona. This guy wouldn't get anywhere near any of those teams.
No,
but
he does though.
The way he's talking,
these teams these teams actually rate him. He does get into those.
I don't know why, bro. He's not that good.
I think he starts for Barca. I don't think he starts for Real.
I don't even think he starts for Barca. He's not better.
Who's Barca's 3?
He's not better than De Jong or Pedri. He's not. In my opinion, he's not.
You know, I actually forgot.
He's not better than De Jong or Pedri. He's not. There's no way.
I forgot. I forgot.
Yeah, but do Barca always play with a 10?
No, it's without the 10.
Yeah, exactly. If
they
play midfield 3, then he gets in.
Because who's the other options? Olmo and Lopez, right?
Olmo, Lopez.
I think he goes there and does the Rashford thing. Like he'll get game time, but not all the time.
He's a bench.
I think. Listen, I think he does start for both of those two teams. Those two teams want him.
Well, week in, week out. You think he starts for Real Madrid?
I don't think he does, man. I don't think he does.
You think week in, week out he starts for Real Madrid,
yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Real Madrid don't have a tempo controller, and they want him for
crazy. I don't think
Prime.
That's crazy.
Did you just say they don't have a tempo controller? You think Enzo is a tempo controller? This guy's always just giving the ball away. What tempo is he controlling?
Yeah, but you also have to realize in a slower league that I think that will suit.
Broke up again, Prime. Yeah. You broke up again. Start again.
But in a slower league also.
Oh. I'm with you. I see them signing him. Don't get mistaken.
So,
I can see that. I just don't think he starts week in, week out for Real or Barca. I think he goes over there. I think he'll start a little bit more than Rashford, but I think it's very
regardless of what we personally think of him.
Go on.
Yeah. Regardless of what we think about him, bro, he's rubbish, bro. That's what we think about him. The guy's not.
I don't think he's rubbish. Let me clarify that. I don't think he's rubbish.
Go there,
I don't think he's rubbish.
Real Madrid.
I think they signed him. I think it makes sense. Real Madrid signing him and Barcelona signing him. I don't think he's rubbish.
Yeah.
I see why they would both sign him. I just disagree with he starts week in, week out. I don't think he starts week in, week out for Real Madrid. No.
I think there's a profile he has. I think there's a profile he has that Real Madrid want. I think he would. Yes. Well, at least he would start off starting week in, week out. Whether he ends up being good enough, long term into the season, is different. But he would start off having to start week in, week out. But regardless, I just want Tchouaméni. I want Tchouaméni or Camavinga in a swap deal. And I need Chelsea. We need a DM. So
you see, this Tchouaméni guy as well. I don't know. He splits opinion. He splits opinion massively. Because I just look at him as the Declan Rice of La Liga. Bro, that's what he is to me. He's the Declan Rice of La Liga. Everything that people rate about this guy.
No, you are moving mad. Now you are moving mad. Now you are actually moving mad. No. You tell me 1 minute, man.
No, I have to
get inside.
No, we can. By 1 minute. No, we can. You watch football. No, you watch football. You telling me too many is Declan Rice of football?
That's crazy.
He's the Declan Rice of the league.
That is crazy.
That means you don't know football. See, no. You are not watching too many.
Sorry, let him have that opinion. It's fine. Cool, that's fine. Whatever. Vikram, who in world football do you actually rate? Because you call just about every team dusty and you don't rate anybody. Who do you rate?
No, I rate Camavinga. I don't rate many like that.
No, but name me world-class players. Who do you rate?
World-class players. Lamine Yamal.
Yeah.
Lewandowski still. Ousmane Dembele.
Go on.
In every position, right? In every position.
Any position.
All I'm gonna say is, you see when Real Madrid played City, and in the midfield it was Tchouaméni and it was a youngster that lined up, and they lost it. Tchouaméni was good. If Arsenal played Real Madrid, if Arsenal played Manchester City in the Champions League round of 16, and it was Rice next to an unknown youngster at Arsenal, and they got that result, you would never hear the end of it. Not only did Rice's game so good, I can't even remember the name of the player now because it was a young central midfielder who played for them. Chat, remind me. I forgot. I can't.
I start with P. It starts with P. I will butcher it. Starts with P.
So Tchouaméni is not only going up against Manchester City, which general consensus, by the way, City are the better side and was knocking them out. Let's not forget that.
Yes.
Because Real Madrid have been awful all season and all this. So let's not forget that. So not only are you going into the game as not favorites in that, you're then playing central midfield against Rodri, who people will say is one of the best DMs in the league, and it's Pep and Manchester City and how they gonna lose. And then you got a kid next to you. And not only does he play well, he also helps the kid in the game. Like, if that's Declan Rice, we're never hearing the end of that. But just
and Wallace, don't forget.
That's what it is. But
followers, don't forget. See, Valverde scored three beautiful goals. He scored a hat trick. But the people doesn't mention was the amount of work Tchouaméni did. The amount of times he controlled the whole midfield with only him. He is the main pillar for Real Madrid. If he is not there, the match won't go like that. See, people because of his performances. No. Wait, 1 minute, Vikram. Because of his performances are like that, he's casual to leave him off Tchouaméni, by the way. Because people don't talk about how good he is. People will talk about how bad he is. That's it. When people don't want to talk about when he good is. When he's bad game, people will raise the voice. When they have a good game, they don't raise the voice. See, I rated Tchouaméni from Flawless knows him. Flawless knows that because in troops again, in back again, we so many times Flawless and the troops had the same conversation. I backed Flawless because I know how good he can be. See, we had me, Jess, and Flawless had so many times about him, Tchouaméni, because he doesn't improve a little bit because of injuries. If injuries doesn't happen, see, people will forget. Last season under Ancelotti, he played everywhere. He played centre back. He played 6. He played 8, and he looked apart. Every fucking time he put 8, he put 6, he played bloody well. That is the problem. See, versatility is problem.
I'm glad you mentioned all of these because this is where this argument falls apart. Because you mentioned the Man City game and used that as like, obviously that's the point for your argument.
No, that is not pinnacle point.
No.
I want to hear this. I want to hear this side. Go on, Vic.
You talked about how he dominated the midfield against Man City, and if that was Rice, we would never hear the end of it. Well, I disagree because last season Rice dominated the midfield against Real Madrid both legs. They got slapped 5-1 on,
and we didn't
hear the end of it. So why are you saying that we would never hear the end of it? We never did hear the end of it. When Rice did that,
no, that's you're proving.
That's our point.
No,
when
you're
I said
proving my point.
Of the Liga, exactly, that is my point.
No. You're proving my point in regards to the levels of it. Well, so you saying that Rice and Tchouaméni are equal technically? You telling me Tchouaméni can't play on the half turn?
No, they're not equal technically.
Okay, so how are they the same then? If one of them can play, wait. If one of them can play on the half turn and the other can't, how are they the same? Because that's a key thing playing football.
Because all of their best attributes are off the ball.
So there's many players who are their best attributes are off the ball. That doesn't mean they're the same. What are we talking about? Conor Gallagher's best attributes are off the ball. Does that mean he's close to Rice and Tchouaméni?
Is Casemiro closer to...
Wait. Conor Gallagher's best attributes are off the ball. Does that mean he's close to Tchouaméni and Rice?
Yeah, but we've watched Conor Gallagher.
Nah, I didn't ask you that, Vikram. I asked you a simple question. All his best attributes are off the ball. So therefore, does that mean because his best attributes are off the ball, we group them all in the same? So Paulina and Gallagher are the same as Rice and Tchouaméni.
Well, if you're talking about profile,
actually, not
the best of that. But back to the point: do you believe Tchouaméni can play on the half turn?
He's good enough to do it.
Okay, and we know me and you have both waxed lyrical and spoke on it about Rice's failure to play on the half turn. Is that not one of the keyest components playing central midfield at the highest level? Is it not?
It is.
Okay, so how are they the same then? If one of them can play on the half turn or one of them can't, how are they the same? That is a key component playing central midfield. We watched the Carabao Cup and we watched Manchester Arsenal fail to get out. And you know why Arsenal couldn't get out? Because they don't have two players who can play on the half turn. Well, because Tchouaméni
and carry the ball.
All can carry the ball, but because
Tchouaméni
is a player who quietly goes about his business, that is now overlooked to the point he's getting compared to Declan Rice. If you are a central midfielder who can't play on the half turn, there's a distinct difference to midfielders that can. Because if you put a Tchouaméni, a Valverde, any player, a Pedri that can play on the half turn, that changes the whole complexion of that final. They could not get out. The reason why
and Flawless, you have to mention
Zubimendi nor Rice can play on the half turn.
Yes.
That's why it's extremely difficult to do. But we just overlook it because man just do it and it's just normal. Tchouaméni's very, very good at that. Like just but because he's better off the ball, which is my argument I've made to troops many a time. Because he's better off the ball, people exclude his on the ball attributes.
On the ball skills.
He's very, very technically sound. And here's another thing about Tchouaméni. If he was worse defensively, but better offensively, he'd get more plaudits. If he was a fucking traffic cone in transition, but was superb on the football, people would wax lyrical about it. But hey, I don't get it. Like I said,
I will tell you this, right? Flawless, if he's Jude Bellingham, people will rate him. That's it. If he's Jude Bellingham, people will rate him. And one more thing was, Vikram, this is the last point I will say this. This is the last point I will say this. In terms of passing also, Tchouaméni's levels above Rice. We've seen how good a passer he is, Tchouaméni. And if you go and see that second goal Vinny scored at Etihad, that pass from Tchouaméni was fucking brilliant. That header. And Vinny was absolutely dreadful in that second game. He can score a hat-trick, he didn't score a hat-trick. Go and see that second goal.
Yo, but like
At
again,
Etihad.
I feel like what you guys are saying is just normal. When you're saying that if he was better on the ball than he is off the ball, people would rate him more, because that's the same reason why people rated Modric and Cruz higher than Casemiro. Everyone knew that Casemiro was good, but people still
they
rated
wouldn't
Modric.
do that because I think they're
People
rated in
rated
their
Modric because of on the ball. Like
No.
every time people talk about Modric, Casemiro, Cruz, they talk about how exceptional
because they're not the
Casemiro
same.
was at his
Now you
as
being
well.
disingenuous.
Same.
You're not the same profile.
People talk about how
Moving the goalpost. Moving the goalpost.
It's not the same.
Same.
Casemiro was
It's
a
not same.
defensive midfielder.
No.
So
Yes.
we judge him off his defensive attributes. Doesn't
Yeah,
mean
and
he was a scrum
and
on the
Cruz
ball.
could do
Cruz
the
went a
six
DM.
well. He wasn't
He
a
went a
DM, but
DM.
he could do it.
He was a screener, yes. But that's not the same thing. I think they're both rated in their respective fields. When we talk defensive midfield, we don't compare Casemiro to Modric. When has that ever been a thing? They don't do the same thing. You compare Cruz and Modric to each other. You compare him to a Pedri. You compare him to a Xavi and Iniesta. You compare Casemiro to Busquets, for example, who's a little bit more defensive, or whatever defensive midfielder you want to
Yeah, and people would say, people would say that Busquets was better because of on the ball things, not even off the ball. Because Casemiro, I think, was better off the ball, but people would say that Busquets on the ball was better.
Debate, though. It's a debate.
It's a debate, but people would still say Busquets was better, and people would rate him higher just because of on the ball work. In general,
people would rate Casemiro for what he does off the ball and the importance of it. But when it comes to Tchouaméni, we disregard it. That's my point. Wait. That's my point. People will rate Casemiro for what he does off the ball, but with Tchouaméni, disregard it. Why?
And people will forget on the ball also.
Wait. Before you go, thank you for proving my point. What's the difference? You just said it there. People will rate Casemiro for what he does off the ball, but not give Tchouaméni his credit for it. Why? What's the difference? Exactly.
That's a different conversation.
That's my point.
And people forgot on the ball. Casemiro is not a scrub, by the way. So many times he started the attack for Real Madrid. If you go and see the Champions League runs and La Liga runs, he's the guy who starts for attack for Real Madrid. Him or Cruz, he passed to Cruz, he passed to Modric, and he's not a scrub. He's not on the levels of Busquets. He's not levels on the Busquets. And one more thing was people forgot. And Tchouaméni is not a 6, by the way. He's a 8. He's playing 6 because of injuries. In 6, you can't pass like that.
And you know what? That's the craziest part is he's a very capable 6 and he's not that.
Yes.
Well, that's the point that I'm making. But to your point, you mentioned it there. Side. Casemiro wasn't a scrub on the ball. He was very technically sound, as is Tchouaméni. But we'll praise Casemiro for his off the ball stuff. But Tchouaméni doesn't get the same credit. Why? When I've said
it's normal for him.
Probably in Europe, outside of Caicedo, he's probably the best off the ball midfielder there is.
I will say after Pedri. Pedri, after Pedri, him.
Okay, so Victor, so let me ask you, Victor, defense. So we're talking off the ball defensive stats for midfielders outside of Caicedo, who's better than Tchouaméni, just defensively.
Better than him.
Defensive attributes only. Let's say Caicedo is, because we've had, not me and you, but I've had this discussion before, but let's say Caicedo's better than him, because I think Caicedo's right up there when it comes to sole defensive attributes. So we're talking defensive. So not on the ball stuff, we're saying off the ball. So we're saying tackles, winning aerial duels, cutting passes, standing tackles, slide tackles, all that stuff. Blocking.
You're talking about every midfielder in each league.
I'm talking all defensive midfield. I'm talking all central midfielders. All central midfielders. Yeah. So all 6s and 8s in Europe. Who's
all the midfielders
better than him?
All the midfielders I'm thinking of it's all on the ball. None of them are better than him off the ball.
Okay. So we're saying he's top 2 off the ball in Europe. Or top 1. Do you think he's better than wait, let me ask you, do you think he's better than Caicedo off the ball?
No.
Okay, so you think he's the best? No. So you think he's the best, he has the best defensive attributes in Europe. And he's a defensive midfielder. And you think he's the best defensively?
I'm trying to... Because I wouldn't put...
This is my point. See, when we start breaking it down and start talking football, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. You've just said he's the best defensive player playing defensive midfield, but he ain't all that.
And Fallacy, if you mention top 5 Fallacy...
I personally think, just to clarify, I think Caicedo's better, but that's just me. Sorry, go on.
Hold on, side. Can I say something? Vikram, because compare it with you're saying the Caicedo thing. Compare it with Rice. You think Rice is better than Tchouaméni?
I just said he's the Declan Rice of La Liga. That's it. I didn't say he was better. I just said they remind me of the.
But I know, but I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Do you think Rice is better than Tchouaméni?
I think he's better than Tchouaméni.
Yes.
No. But I don't rate Rice.
So they're on the same level.
I don't rate either of them. Bro, I don't get your point. I don't rate either of them.
No, I just want to know who's better. Okay. Also, you don't rate Tchouaméni because of what he can't do on the ball, right?
Yeah.
Did you rate Kante?
Not as highly as others. But I understood why people rated him as high as they did.
Do you think Kante was world class?
At what he did, yeah.
So, but that makes him So, why is he not a world class player?
I didn't say he wasn't.
No, but I'm asking
you. Like, what he does.
I asked you, do you think he was world class?
He had a world class engine.
Alright, so he's not world class then. Let's not beat around the bush then.
Yes.
What he don't think?
It's fine if you don't think he's world class. By the way,
fair enough.
It's fine if you don't think that. It's just like
that's fair enough.
I just really rate on the ball. Bro, I don't get. I just really rate on the ball footballers because it's called football.
That's fine. Let's talk about.
When we talk about the best football players we've ever seen, we don't just talk about off the ball. We talk about both.
No,
and yet defensively, he's the best. Okay, defensively, you can say right.
Nah, go back to Kante. Wait. Go back to Kante. No. Go back to Kante. No. Go back to Kante. So you don't think Kante was world class?
No, but the reason why I brought it up is because, like with Kante, like in terms of being a ball winner and protecting. When he was playing, he was probably one of, not the best. But on the ball, I saw it at Chelsea. There's a reason why he could not like sit on his own as a single pivot because he couldn't progress the ball out. He couldn't play out. He wasn't good enough.
Exactly. That's why he had to play further forward. I rate on the ball as much as I rate.
That's why he had to play further forward as like an 8 to win the ball higher up for us. Tchouaméni, I don't think Tchouaméni is like anywhere near Kante.
It's a good comparison though because they're the same kind of profile. And that's exactly why I just don't.
Who's the same kind of profile? Who's the same kind of profile?
It's the same kind of profile.
They're not. Hold on. Stop. The reason why they're not the same kind of profile is because Kante could never sit on his own in midfield because he can't play out. When Lampard tried it, it failed miserably because Kante can't sit on his own. Tchouaméni can do it, Caicedo can do it, and none of them are DMs. My big problem at Chelsea is with Lavia that he should be playing in midfield deeper for us, allowing Caicedo to play higher up the pitch and win the ball up, meaning Chelsea can stay higher up the pitch. The same thing. No, but Lavia doesn't stay fit. But I'm saying Lavia is our DM. The same thing around Madrid. Camavinga is their DM. Lavia is a defensive midfielder.
Okay, that's where he plays. Okay.
Yeah, the same thing with Camavinga. He's actually a DM, but the fact that he doesn't stay fit, or Real Madrid will have injuries everywhere else, meaning Camavinga has to play out of position, means Tchouaméni then has to sit deeper. The fact that Tchouaméni and Caicedo can both like at least progress the ball and play on the ball means they can play as a DM and it can be functional.
Well, people overlook that prime because he is so good defensively, like Casemiro, or like people are surprised Casemiro's been technically sound. Tchouaméni's technically sound. He's just better off the ball than he is on the ball. But because he's so good off the ball, people overlook his on the ball stuff. Like Tchouaméni can play.
But also with Casemiro, when you play in that Madrid team at Modric and Kroos, you don't have to be a ball progressor. You don't have to be. You know what's funny? I remember a few years ago, I think it was maybe Partey's first season in the Prem, or maybe his second season, or maybe it was Casemiro's first season in the Prem. I remember Igal was actually on this channel, and you guys were having a debate because Igal was saying that Partey is better than Casemiro because how Partey can actually play out the back and Casemiro can't. And then someone made the argument that Casemiro didn't have to do that at Real Madrid playing with Modric and Kroos.
Yeah, it was me. Because I remember saying the ball. Yeah, because I remember saying to someone, Yeah, I think it was a gal. Shout out to a gal. This is why you can't trick me, because I remember saying to him, all right, so you're the manager of Real Madrid and your midfield is Casemiro, Cruz, and Modric. Who out of those three do you not want progressing the ball? And he danced around the question for time, because we all know who you want on the ball and who you don't want on the ball. Like, and that's no disrespect.
In this midfielder.
Exactly.
Yes, there's no disrespect to Casemiro, but no, if I have Modric and Cruz, I want Modric and Cruz progressing the ball over him.
And what's funny is at Real Madrid, you know who played? Well, he was the ball progressor at Real Madrid when Partey was there. Koke.
Atletico Madrid.
I didn't watch Atletico like that.
Yeah, because Koke was a good player. You know, he was a good player.
No, of course he was. But like, that's the point. If you thought like at Chelsea, you know, part of why Tuchel's system worked in the midfield, because Kante could just has the freedom to win the ball and do whatever he wants. But you at least needed a ball progressor. You needed Jorginho too. You needed a tandem.
Jorginho was
France, when they won the World Cup, Pogba doesn't work without Kante. Kante doesn't work without Pogba. Sometimes you just need a tandem to work because they both bring out each other's strengths and they cover each other's weaknesses.
Agreed. They don't win that. Like Leicester don't win that league title without him. Chelsea don't win that league title.
I have a question for Vikram. I have a question for Vikram. He said, Vikram said, he rates footballers on the ball, right? Do you that means you don't rate Roy Keane?
Huh?
You said you said you rate footballers on the ball more.
Yeah, which is why I rate Carrick higher than Keane. Yeah, you're right. You're damn right. I stand by it. Yeah, what? And what?
That's just his preference.
Okay, that means That means you prefer
the game is called football. I know
Vikram,
no. Love the off the ball stuff, but the game is called football.
No. I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question. Okay, you say. I'm asking a question. Just answer my question. No. You say okay. That means you want.
It's just a preference, bro. It's normal.
Okay, you take Michael Carrick, then Roy Keane.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's what it is, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, you answered the question. Also, with this Declan Rice stuff, by the way, they bought Zubamendi to be their ball progressor. But because Zubamendi can't do it, particularly in the big games, that's why all the pressure gets put on Rice. Because Rice is the big 100-pound midfielder. He should be winning the Ballon d'Or. He's world class, all this stuff. Really, because that City game, that final, what should have happened is Zubamendi should have dropped in with the centre backs and got the ball and played out. Because Zubamendi won't do that. Now everyone looks at Rice to be the guy to do it. Everyone looks at the ball winner to do it.
Oh, your internet's cutting out bare, bro.
Yes.
It's cutting out. I get what you're trying to say.
And just for this, in regards to Carrick any day over Roy Keane, it's fucking ludicrous. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Go look who Keane was matching up against and playing against. And it wasn't all off the ball stuff. Again, that was just it. Like, let's be respectful. Carrick is not moving to prime Zidane. Stop it. I watched him dominate a midfield of him and Edgar Davids. Cut the shit. What are we doing out here? What are we talking about here, man? Like, we got I'm all for conversations and all this stuff. Stop it. Like, and Keane was no scrub on the ball, by the way. Obviously, he wasn't Carrick, but he was no scrub. But stop it. Go look at who Keane was facing and go look who Carrick was facing and look when United were dominant all over those years, in particular in Europe. Even games we lost. Go look at the midfields he was facing up against. Think Carrick could chat to Vieira? Stop it, man. What are we doing? Stop it. And I rate Carrick highly, but let's just be honest about it, man. But hey, he's still.
That's why I'm surprised, Paulus. Because this is the rare from United fans say that he prefers Roy Keane over Michael Carrick. Sorry, Carrick over Roy Keane. That is why I'm very, very surprised.
Yeah, because I just like footballers on the ball. It's perfectly normal, bro. The game is called football.
Nah, but that's the thing, though. But you say that the game is called football, but football is played both ways, though. Like with all the guys on the ball.
No, but again, you're not talking about semantics. I'm talking about why we love football so much.
Yes, of course. But everybody.
When we think about the best players we loved watching growing up, we don't talk about centre backs that much or goalkeepers.
I mean, it depends. It depends on the person.
It depends. I will tell you. I love centre backs.
Hold up, Vikran. You no. That's you.
Yes.
Talk to United.
Yes.
Talk to United fans about Keane and act like they don't talk about him. Why is Keane in most United?
All right, Flo. So we're gonna do this now. We're gonna pretend like you were on your shows talking about.
It's true. It's true though.
I didn't say goalkeepers. Don't put words in my mouth. Roy Keane, we're talking about in particular. You're talking about off the ball stuff. So why is Roy Keane so revered? If that's the case, why is he more revered than Michael Carrick by Manchester United? Why is he more celebrated? Bear in mind,
he's multiple things.
Go on.
He was one of the best captains the club has ever had. He was one of the best.
Why was he one of the best captains? Why was he one of the best captains?
Well, he led by example, innit?
Okay, in regards to what? What did he lead by example?
He did his talking. He was like,
did his talking in regards to, so what was he talking about?
He did his talking on the pitch. Like he was like the guy you needed to, because every team needs like a bastard in their team, like to get
we had plenty of them. It wasn't just him. There was enough of them in that side.
He was one of the main leaders, though. You get what I mean? Like even before we're talking not just.
So it's kind of like he was physical. So it's going to show how much off the ball stuff is important. And if that's the case, isn't it? Why is he revered? Bear in mind, he could play. Let's just clarify that. When we talk about progressing the ball, Keane was very good at progressing the ball. More short passing. That was more his game. He was short passing. No, you think like Carrick is not one. Carrick is quality, yes. But is he one of the best midfielders of all time? No. He's not.
No, this is the thing. This is the thing for me.
He's up there. Quality midfielder, yes. One of the best of all time. Sorry, no, he's not. No.
See, and this
before let's go, I will tell you this, right?
Go on, sir.
This is my one point. I will say this, right? Replace Keane with Carrick. United won't win that much of titles or Champions Leagues. They won't do that. Because of Roy Keane, single-handedly, they won so many matches. Because of only Roy Keane. Take off Roy Keane.
All right, so we're going to ignore Carrick's Champions League. I hear you, sir. I hear you.
No. Oh, see, you're telling only particular one. That's it. I'm telling you that. See, you won at least 10 to 11 titles or 13 titles, anything. You put Roy Keane or take off Roy Keane and put Carrick, you won't win that much of titles. See, if other people are rating that much of like Carrick, why Carrick doesn't start for other countries, sir? Why people won't mention Carrick like that? Yes, don't get me wrong. Carrick is a very, very good midfielder. He's a very, very competent midfielder. But I'm not taking Carrick. I'm taking Keane over Roy Keane. Keane over Carrick.
Yes.
For me, he's the best midfielder in this Premier League ever seen. As a 6. Rodri, no. I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm mentioning that. See, as a destroyer, as a 6, who's seen the Premier League football, as a 6, he's the best out there. And best captain, by the way.
Best midfielder we've ever seen. I don't know about all that.
As a 6, I said, as a 6, as a destroyer.
He said
as a 6,
the best we've ever seen. I don't know.
Yeah, as a destroyer in the Premier League.
As a 6, I'm mentioning, listen to my words, as a 6, I'm not mentioning 8, I'm not mentioning 10, as a 6. As a 6, you can go to anybody and ask.
To people in the chat, no one's downplaying Carrick. Like, no one's saying he's underrated. I rate Carrick highly. Let me just clarify this. This is the whole thing of, I like apples while you hate oranges. No, that's not the case. That's not what I'm saying. Let me repeat this. I rate Michael Carrick very, very highly. Yes. If we're doing Manchester United all 11s, he gets in the second one. Yes. Behind Scholes and Keane, he's third on my list in regards to midfielders, because I didn't really get to see Brian Robson and Paul Ince like that, so I can't include them in that. But what I'm saying is he's third on my list. So if I didn't rate him, he wouldn't be third. He's just not Roy Keane. I'm sorry. That's all. He's just not to me. Like, yes, he had him off the ball. Carrick, very good again. Third, I rate him highly. Quality midfielder. Deserved all the plaudits he gets. Didn't get enough plaudits when he was playing. Played a key role in us winning in us winning all them Premier Leagues and winning the Champions League and winning the double, etc. Without doubt, 110%. But he's just not Roy Keane, no. That's all. He's not. Carrick don't get mentioned in all-time Premier League 11s. There's a reason for that. Respectfully. When they do all these things, he don't get mentioned. He don't. And he's quality. Again, people, third on my list. Not old enough like that to remember Ince and Robson. They were like the back end as I'm watching football at the back end. So I can't include them. So I can't really comment. Someone older than me would have to say that. But yeah, go on, just say what you're gonna say.
No, but now that's the thing for me, right? And again, we can talk about preferences, right? But when we talk about the word football, yeah, we talk about what you do on the ball, right? But football is a sport where everything counts, offensively and defensively. So now you can say, all right, but that's the case. I can use literally one of my teams in basketball for the prime example where we probably have the best player in basketball. No, hold on.
Bro, come on.
Langes.
Yes, because I'm using a comparison because it's the same logic here. Because we're talking about one of the best players currently in basketball in the world. And when you watch him play, most people will tell you, bar few people here with their own agendas, that when you watch him on the eye, he's probably one of the best players comfortably in the world. But the reason why we won our championship last season wasn't necessarily just because of him. It's because as a team, how good we are defensively. It's a sport where everything matters. So for me, defensive players getting so disrespected, if I'm being really honest, is crazy to me because these guys are a main reason why even these guys on the ball that you talk about were even successful to begin with. If you had a team full of guys who were amazing on the ball, I promise you these guys don't go and do and be as successful. Yes, you have.
And we don't revere them. Here the thing is, we don't revere them in the same light.
Yes.
These players who are off the ball, bear in mind, they're not terrible on the ball, by the way. When we talk about like Keane and Casemiro, but take them out of those sides. Like Makelele, for example, take him out that Madrid side. We seen what happened. We seen what happened with those Galacticos when they sold him. They did nothing after that. All them star-studded players, Zidane, R9, Raul, the list goes on, Beckham. And when they sold Makelele, they went to but like I said, it's each to their own. But yeah, nobody.
If you can take this prime example, fellas. You take off Casemiro in this United 11. In this United 11, that the team is not functioning well.
No, you guys.
Because you got a scrub. No, you got a scrub.
It's a truth, though. You can't disagree.
You guys are having two different conversations.
No, okay, no, hold on. So, Vic, you think with all Casemiro, the United team would be doing as well if they could?
No, my point was.
I'm asking question. Answer that question is C. Vikram. I'm asking question. That question is take off Casemiro.
You guys are talking about I don't rate Casemiro. I've already said
Vikram. You can't avoid the question because you don't like it. Ask him again.
No. Vikram, just 1 minute, just 1 minute. I will ask question. Vikram, you said, see, Roy Keane is a destroyer. I see Casemiro as a destroyer. You take off Casemiro, you think this United midfield will function like this?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Then you're telling me then why not? Because you rate on the ball, right? Why not?
Again, you guys are having a completely different conversation. I said on the
what different conversation? Let's have conversation. See, you said
okay.
That is not different.
No, I'll keep it United, to make it to give you a good example. We played the best Barcelona team we've ever seen in our lives. Yes, they had one of the best defensive we've ever seen. Yeah, they had Puyol, they had Piqué, they had Torre, they had Silvinho. That was one of the best backlines we've ever seen. But people don't talk about it as much as they talk about Eto'o, Henry, Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets. People don't talk about them as much.
Wait. Because that's crazy attacking quality. But that don't downplay what they did, though.
It doesn't downplay it, but my point is people
you're downplaying it
attacking quality. People love the on the ball.
People love, yes, but you don't displace one over. The fact that you have one over the other is where the argument makes no sense. You saying Kante is not world class makes no sense when you look what he did. That's what doesn't.
I didn't actually say that, but that's a good.
Okay, so I'll ask you the question now. Wait. Vikram, was Kante world class?
At Chelsea, yes.
No, forget all that. Was he world class overall? So he weren't world class at Leicester, but he was world class at Chelsea.
No, he was.
Okay, then. So, but that's all off the ball stuff. How many of those Leicester players were world class outside of Mahrez?
No one. Mahrez and Conte.
So how important was he then? So if you ask a Leicester fan who they talk about in that side, who do you think they're going to talk about outside of Mahrez and Vardy? Who's the other one?
Conte.
So it's off the ball stuff. Like, what are we doing out here? We can't just displace off the ball stuff because it's not highlight reels and stuff like that. Like, that's just
But that's just the reality of football. That's what people talk about.
No. That's your reality. No. That's your reality.
All right. So
your reality, yes.
This is actually a good example because Flawless would have been older than me at the time when this happened. When he went to school and we played that insane Barcelona team, people weren't talking about Silvinho, Piqué.
That's one side.
They were talking about Andre,
that's one side. Okay, that's one side.
We can go to every team,
but that is one side
in the last 10 years.
People were talking about the crazy. Okay, so when AC Milan had So when AC Milan had their great sides, people were talking about Maldini. People were talking about Stam. People were talking about Nestor.
Okay, now you have to name the sides that you're talking about, so I can put it into context.
AC Milan. I literally just said AC Milan.
But which team specifically?
AC Milan, the one that won the league, the one that won the Champions League.
2008 or 2007?
No,
that was 2007.
2007 and the one in 2007. The one in 2007 and the one in 03 as well when they beat Juventus in the final at our place. So two.
Yeah. They lost 4-5.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? Like people didn't talk about Maldini.
That was Cafu, Nestor, and
I can't remember which
Maldini.
it was. I just know they had
Nestor and Maldini, right?
To get to the point, they had a whole heap of defensive players. People still hold into high regard now. How did Makelele get a role named after him then if people don't care about defensive teams? Defensive players. Why is the role? Wait. Answer the question. Why is the role named after him?
Quality better?
Why is the role named
after him? Nobody got a role named after chat about it at all. I'm just saying that people talk about the attacking quality more, just in general.
Yes, it depends on who you're talking to and what you are talking about.
No, but again, you mentioned Maldini, Nestor, and Cafu.
Yes,
about Kaka, Pirlo, Seedorf, and
absolutely. Seedorf did defensive work too. Don't get mistaken.
You see the common pattern. You see the common pattern with all these teams that had all the great offensive, but they also had amazing defensive.
Great defense. What we're talking about here, these great sides, you just pinpointed Barcelona, yes, because Barcelona didn't have it. Many others had those things. When we look at great sides, many of us, great Manchester United sides, great Arsenal sides, great Liverpool sides, we talk about. So we don't talk about Van Dijk in a highlight. People talking about him being potentially the best ever.
Yeah, people talk about Van Dijk, but they also talk about Firmino, Salah, Mane.
Yes, again, I agree with you, yes. Well, Van Dijk is spoken about just as much as them. Probably Salah. When we talk great Liverpool sides outside of Salah, who's talking about the next? Who's talking
Van
about
Dijk.
the most?
People talk about Mane. They talk about
no. That again, Vikram. That's not Vikram. That's not what I asked. I'll ask you the question again. Outside of Salah, when Liverpool fans talk about great Premier League sides, outside of Salah, who's the next one they talk about the most?
Yeah, they'll talk about Van Dijk, Alisson.
No, I didn't say the rest. I said one. Who's number 2 on the list? Stop trying to change the question. Who gets talked about second? Salah's first. When Liverpool fans talk about great Liverpool sides, Salah's number 1. Who is number 2? Don't tell me about 3, 4, 5, and 6. I didn't ask that. I said, who's number 2?
Depends who you ask.
Okay, cool. So general consensus then. The same way you've done the general consensus thing when you talk about other teams like that Real Madrid side and that Barcelona side. General consensus, Vikram. Who gets asked about, who gets mentioned the most? What are we talking about here? Man can't just move goalposts and move questions and stuff like that. We know it's Van Dijk. You know it's Van Dijk. We all know it's Van Dijk.
Yes. And Paulus, if you mention top 3 United players, there will be definitely Rio Ferdinand will be there. Or Stam will be there.
Yes. People talk about it.
Rio Ferdinand, because they defended. If United don't have Stam, they don't win treble. By the way, they don't win 3 league titles.
Yes,
and Stam, one of the best defenders Premier League ever seen. One of the best. Right. If we continue like that, I will pick Rio. I will pick Stam over Rio. I rate Stam way much higher than Rio. But longevity side, I pick Rio.
And we know these things. And even going back further, there's a reason Brian Robson was called Captain Marvel, because he did everything. He weren't just on the ball and off the ball. And if you talk to older United fans than me, because I'm not old enough, ask them about him, because they'll say that Robson was better than both him and Carrick.
And another example was
before you go, that's to anybody in the chat. Ask anyone who you know who's 40 plus, anyone who's 40 years old or older, who's a Manchester United fan, about Brian Robson, and ask him if they think he's better than Keane and Carrick. But hey.
And Flawless, if you say that one of the greatest records in the Premier League was Chelsea 15-goal record, that defense, people talk about how good that defense is.
That's a valid point still.
All right, you mentioned one team. All right.
That's a valid point.
That's a
See, no,
valid
no,
point.
Vikram, see, this is no. Vikram, this is where you are this is where you are wrong, because every great team has every good defense. Without defense, you can't win titles.
But that wasn't even my point. My point was people talk about the on the ball and the great technical.
That's you.
Again, it depends on what team you are talking about. If you are talking about Barcelona, yes. If you're talking MSN, yes. If you're talking the Real Madrid side with Benzema and Ronaldo and Bale, yes. Because there's some of the, but when we start talking, we can move from that. When we start talking English sides, because Spanish sides, they focus more on attack. But when we start talking great English sides, and we start talking great Italian sides, and we start talking great German sides, the defensive players come into it more. You pinpointed the two Spanish sides. Yes, I guess that. But when you talk about teams that would talk to a Bayern Munich fan, ask there about Bayern Munich. Ask an older Bayern Munich fan about their players that they had with Oliver Kahn and Sami Kufor and Lizarazu.
But they also had Robin Ribery and Lewandowski.
Robin and Ribery was before. I'm talking about before them. I'm talking you pinpointing that side, because that side wasn't as good defensively. I'm talking their better sides. Their side that won it on one. Go ask them about Myers Lateus and players like that. This is what I'm talking about. You're just pinpointing certain sides. Yes, there is some sides who have been dominant where the attack is more revered than the defense because the attackers were better. But there's other sides where it's equal, like the Italian sides. As great as they were, go ask an Inter Milan side about their. Go ask an Inter Milan fan about their sides when they had
treble season.
Well, not even our first league. Hold on, not even our first league touch. The first two with Jose, everyone talks about our defense. And that team had Robin, Drogba, and Joe Cole, Lampard told 20 goals, I think, in both seasons. And everyone talks about Terry, Carvalho.
They talk about both sides, yeah. They do.
No. People mainly speak about our defense because of how great it was.
Because they broke things. How are you telling the Chelsea fan what they mainly talk about?
They conceded. People conceded.
They have a record that they still watch Liverpool about.
Bro, it was 7 from open play. 15 and 15 goals in the season.
Yeah, 7 is mad. 7 is mad.
Yes, from open play.
That's what it's in general.
That's what. But this is one thing. Sorry, but I just want to the point I'll quickly make before I have to dip as well. But this is what's kind of like my point that I'm trying to make. It's fine. It's fine if you have a preference, right? At the end of the day, everybody has their preference. But just because you have a preference, and this is the thing that I just hate about in football in general, or even just in any sport, how we undermine the other thing just because you have a preference. Is if you have a preference towards the offensive players, that's cool. But don't undermine the defensive players who have as equally contributed to most of these teams being achieving what these teams achieve. Hence why I always say you can take those great defenses, you can look at these great offensives here. If the defense wasn't part of the team, those teams aren't as successful as they were. Equally, you can make the same argument about the offensive players. If those teams never had those offensive players, they're also not going to be as successful. So that's why I say, have your preference, but stop undermining what defensive players have done, because I think it's super disrespectful when you look at what these guys have done to make sure that these offensive players could do what they could do. Imagine some of the best offensive players that we have seen having to do defensive work because those teams didn't have great defensive. Imagine KDB having to go and play in the mid block or low block just because City teams didn't have good defensive. Imagine that. Imagine. No, I'm saying imagine City teams. Imagine KDB having to play in the mid block or low block because City teams didn't have good defensive. They weren't amazing defenses, but they still have solid enough defenses.
Yeah,
when we look at company, we look at company. Exactly. Imagine if they didn't have company in Ferdinand and KDB had to put more effort defensively on top of the offensive part of it. That's why I say we should be. Look, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Just because you have a preference, we shouldn't undermine what the defensive players know.
That's what it is. That's what Jez is saying. Like everyone has. I have my preferences in regards to certain teams and the way I want my team to play and form it, but I don't undermine the other side. I'm not. The screener thing is new to me. The midfield is that screen, but guess what? I don't undermine the importance of it. Give me a destroyer any day, but I don't undermine what Busquets did or what Carrick did because it's super important, even though it's not my preference. But hey, you used to that one. But you make sure you subscribe to Charlotte.
This is my last point. Flawless. This is my last point. I talk about Lakers, right? One of our weaknesses was defense, center. And we have one of the upcoming greatest shooting in Luka. What Lakers say, I say, Fat say, we lack center. We lack it defense. Because of defense, we can't win championship. Same.
Hey, man.
You take every sport. You can take any sport. Without defense, we can't function offense. For me, defense has to be good. Then our offense can perform really, really well. That's it. And this on-the-ball stuff killing football, by the way. People are disrespecting our defense.
No, I disagree. I think it's managers, isn't it, that are killing football with this robotic stuff. Because when we grew up, bro, we didn't grow up with centre backs taking 20 touches on the ball.
Vikram, do you think goalkeepers are important?
Of course they're important. No one grows up wanting to be a goalkeeper. Like, bro, I don't understand why this is so hard to understand. No one grows up being like, yeah, I want to be Manuel Neuer. You grow up wanting to be Ian Robin.
There are a lot of people that think like Vikram, that they don't like appreciate or respect.
I feel like with that conversation, it depends who you ask, innit? Because in different countries and different cultures, it's probably different.
No, because this is why it's important to have this, because there is people with the thought process of Vikram that will undermine defensive and like defensive attributes and defensive stats.
I'll just tell you, in Nigeria, they really love JJ Okocha because of how good he was technically. But they kind of, because you seen Ndidi, he was part of that Leicester team, that done its thing right, or that done the madness. But people don't really, he's not really rated in Nigeria like he should be, because he was actually. When you think about it, he's one of the best players that we've produced in a long time.
Who's the player? Who?
Yeah. Remember when he had that he's one of the best players that we produced, but people will talk about Okocha more because of just the style.
People talk about, you know why people talk about Okocha more? Because Okocha was a better player. Because it's on the level of the player. If you go prime, if you're one of the world's best or you're one of the elite best, and people start putting you in.
But he wasn't seen as that at the time. Not at the time, he wasn't. He wasn't seen as the world's best at the time.
No. Again, you're mixing two arguments. So as is, let me just clarify that again. You mentioned Okocha and Ndidi. Okocha is a better player than Ndidi. They're not close. So the reason why Okocha is more revered than Ndidi is because he's miles better as a player. And then the overall point that I was making secondary is, once you have a player who gets into conversations of, he's one of the best Premier League levels of all time, or world's best, that's when people then rate them highly. That's why you'll see a whole heap, like Van Dijk, for example. The reason why Liverpool fans will talk about Van Dijk is because the levels that he reached. And some people have him as the best ever. Some people have him top 2. Some say top 3. Some say top 5. That's the point I'm making. No matter what position you play outside of goalkeeper, if you reach them heights, you're in those conversations. Hence why Ashley Cole is so highly revered. Hence why Maldini is so highly revered. And the list goes on and so on and so forth and so forth.
I picked the wrong player. I should have said John Obi Mikel instead of Ndidi. That was my overall.
But Mikel is like appreciated and respected by Nigeria. Do you know?
No, but not as much as Okocha. Not as much as Okocha.
Yeah, but Mikel's not on Okocha's level.
Yeah,
he shouldn't be.
John Obi Mikel's not.
They're two different. Yeah, but it's two different positions, so it's not.
We're talking levels.
I thought Mikel was extremely disrespected when he was playing. I thought people should have respected him or rated him higher. However, he's still not Okocha's level.
No, that's my point. People don't rate defensive stuff. Okocha is.
No, that's the case. No, that's not the case. No, it's not. No, that's not the case. That's incorrect.
Because also with Ndidi, do you know the reason? I agree with you. When he was playing in that as best at Leicester, people should have put him on a higher pedestal. Do you know the reason why? No, but do you know the reason? But you're talking about Nigerians. I'm Nigerian too. And the reason why Nigerians don't put him on that high level, because he's been part of a Nigeria team that have consistently been failing. That's part of why he's not rated higher by Nigeria.
I don't think that's his fault. To be
honest, that's going to.
Hold on.
That's a different conversation.
I'm not saying it's not his fault. I'm not saying it's not his fault though. But that's part of why by Nigerians he's not rated as high as you probably say he should be.
Yeah, but you're saying that. But what did Okocha really do?
It's not about what he did. It's about
he was a superior. It's not about accomplishments.
It's not about accomplishments. Okocha was a better player.
That's the thing. I agree. But again, the argument was defense. People need to put as much respect on defense as they do attack. But I'm just saying that's not the case.
No. In instances, when it's fair. If you get someone who's that, guess what? Van Dijk is more respected than Okocha. Why? Because he was better. SEM was better than Okocha. So you know why he was more respected? Because he was better. You're making it a defense versus attack. It's ability. SEM was better than him. So therefore, SEM going to get more respect. Guess what? Eto'o was better than him. So therefore, Eto'o's going to get more respect than him, even if you think he wasn't as skillful. What are we doing out here? Like, we don't know these things. Like, it's on what you're talking about. It's not defense versus attack. Ability. Okocha at one point was one of the better players in the Premier League. Respectfully, John Obi Mikel, as good as he was, wasn't that?
Yaya Toure gets more. Yaya Toure gets more respect than Okocha.
Yes. You know why?
Come on, bro. Yaya Toure is one of the best midfielders we've ever seen.
That's the point.
One of the best. He's one of the he was ridiculous.
He was playing DM at Barcelona, doing defensive stuff, and was rated higher than
Flores. We're not doing this. I seen this guy pick up the ball and run through an entire team on his ones. This guy was insane.
Yes, but he wasn't doing that often at Barcelona like that.
Insane technique.
He wasn't doing that often.
We're not going to pretend.
No. What we're going to do is no. We're talking at Barcelona. He was a defensive player at Barcelona. He played DM and centre back.
Yeah, he was, but we're not going to just pretend like the on the ball wasn't there.
Who said it wasn't there? When did I say that?
No, because you're trying to make the point. You're making the point that he was better defensively than he was offensively.
Okay. So what did he do more of? Wait. What did he do more of at Barcelona? Defensive work or offensive work?
Oh yeah, he did more defensive work at
Barcelona. Then, and he was highly revered. Why? Because he was quality at it. Let's not act like he was getting on the ball more than Xavi and Iniesta at Barcelona. No, what are we talking about here? Okay, so he wasn't. So he didn't have that much of the ball then. Yes, he was technically sound. No one's disputing that. The point is that we're making you just want to dance around it for whatever reason. I have no idea. He did more defensive work at Barcelona and was more highly revered than JJ Okocha. Why? Because he was better than JJ Okocha. Granted, he went to City and then showcased what he could do going forward. What are we talking about here? What are we doing out here? But you run up the lights. Yeah. Go on. Last point on it. Go on.
It's just all good. He had both, but I get your point.
Yeah, but he didn't showcase it at Barcelona. I watched those games. He didn't showcase his skills at Barcelona like that, offensively. You think he was on the ball more than Xavi and Iniesta?
He was doing the Casemiro thing. He just had two.
Okay. He was doing the Casemiro thing. Yes, my point. Yes.
Freaks next to him.
He was doing the Casemiro thing. So
he came to his right point, man.
Side of things. Yes.
You danced around it and he came it.
Yeah, danced around the point just to make my point for me. Yes, he was doing the Casemiro thing. And then Casemiro moved to Manchester United and then started showcasing his offensive skills, just like Yaya Toure did. But the point is I'm making, when Yaya Toure was at Barcelona, he was highly revered as a quality player for defensive work. Because Xavi and Iniesta weren't really doing defensive work like that. And he played centre-back. He played centre-back in the final against us. He played centre-back against Chelsea in semi-finals. And then left. What are we doing out here?
Flores, before you close, this is my last point, right? This means, Vikram, if Casemiro leaves, you want Mainu to play at 6, right?
Bro, I don't get why you're putting words in my mouth now.
No. You said You said you like on the ball. No. You said you like on the ball, right? Mainu was on the ball. Mainu is very good. Why can't he play 6 then?
Bro, because you need you need I never disputed that you don't need balance. Of course you need balance in every team. I just said more people just look at the on the ball side a lot more than off the ball a lot of the time.
See, off the ball also important then.
Yeah, so obviously it's important. Both are important. I never disputed that.
I think it's equally important, but I
never disputed that.
Let's move on from Champions League and all this stuff from Premier League to all that. Let's go National League, Charlotte. Go to you.
Sorry, you completely caught me off guard, Ben. I've just been leaving you to it and entertaining the chat.
Yeah. I appreciate you entertaining the chat. You lot obviously employed it. For those that don't know, Charlotte's a Rochdale fan. So you lot got any National League questions getting or League 2 or anything like that? in a title race with York. Obviously, late winners. You got a couple. You got a late winner. Thoughts on the title race? How confident of you lot are going up? Because you and York are going to the death.
There's still going to be twists and turns. I'm still not fully confident because, as everyone's aware, obviously, if you do follow the National League, York have already scored over 100 goals. It's like you've all been arguing about. It's literally the attack of York versus our defence, Rochdale. That should hopefully. I'm hoping our defence obviously wins it. We win the championship. But yeah, it's going to be really, really tough. We do have York, obviously, on that final day of the season. That game is going to be massive. I'm hoping the title race is done before that, if I'm being completely honest. If people aren't aware with National League, only one goes up automatically. The rest of the teams go to a playoff. So 2 and 3 go through to the semi-final. Then you've got 4, 5, 6, 7 who obviously have to play each other, and then you play those teams in the semi-final. But I'm hoping, regardless of who ends up winning, it is actually decided before that final day, because I feel like for National League football, and if you're a neutral fan, the decider would ideally be, it would be great to be done on that final day. But if you're Rochdale or you're York, I think it will be a massive gut puncher if both teams finish on over 100 points and only one of them goes up on that final day. I think that could massively affect the other team, if I'm being perfectly honest. But yeah, it's going good in National League. And I just wanted to point out, if none of you know, we do have a lot of big names now in National League. So KSI has obviously just recently got shares in Dagenham and Redbridge, National League South. Jermaine Defoe has just been named the new manager of Woking, so another big name. You've obviously got the likes of Robbie Savage, who's at Forest Green. You've got Mark Hughes, who's obviously at Carlisle. So you've got a lot of big names who are starting off their managerial careers in non-league. But yeah, it's one of them. I know you're all probably used to the Premier League football. I know that non-league and lower league football isn't for everyone. But if you do get the chance to watch some non-league football and an EFL football, especially when the playoffs come around, definitely do, because it is an eye-opener. And yeah, it's kind of crazy, but really, really fun at the same time. So definitely do.
No, definitely. Do you think Dagenham can get? Yeah, and make sure you lot subscribe to Charlotte's channel, Char Talks Ball, and all the links in the title, because she will be doing playoffs. She will be doing playoff games, watch alongs. I will be over there as well. So yeah, you lot make sure you head over there. I'm sure more the circus will be over there as well. Do you think Dagenham can get? I think you're saying a good up and coming coach.
Well, at the moment, Andy Carroll's interim at Dagenham and Redbridge. The Andy Carroll.
The striker?
Yeah, the striker. Yeah. He actually plays for Dagenham at the moment. I think he's got some sort of shares and stuff within Dagenham as well. He's actually interim at the moment, because they have, since KSI's come in, just recently sacked obviously their manager at the time. They got the first win under Andy Carroll. They won 3-1. So it's whether they actually decide to get a new up-and-coming manager, or they get a manager with National League experience. But I personally think that they will stick with Andy Carroll, if I'm being honest, if he does a good enough job. Because, like I said, you've got ex-Premier League players who are starting off their managerial careers in non-league. So it could be a stepping stone for him.
And do you think that's the right move to keep him, Andy Carroll?
I can't really say at the moment, if I'm being too honest, because he's only had that one game. He has only had that one game. So going off that one game, obviously, yeah, because they won like 3-1. So going off that one game, yeah, but obviously, who knows? The only thing is, at the moment with Dagenham, there is a hell of a lot of pressure on Dagenham at the moment. I think if they do end up getting playoffs, it will be too soon for them to get promoted. I think they need next season to maybe capitalise on all these changes they've made with the ownership, with obviously a new manager, bring some players in. There's a lot of publicity on them at the moment, similar to the Wrexham situation once upon a time and a Birmingham situation. So they've got pressure from that end. Every single one of their games now is being televised as well on DAZN because KSI is now involved in them. And I think I told you, Flawless, about this, but they've got some. The KSI is obviously to do with the Ballers League, isn't it? So they've poached a player from Wealdstone, who are obviously in our division. They were in our division. They are a non-league player, and I cannot remember his name, but he's ended up breaching his contract at Wealdstone to go and play in the Ballers League. So Wealdstone aren't happy at the moment. They have just recently got through to the final as well of the FA Trophy. They play Southend at Wembley in the final of the FA Trophy. So yeah, he's obviously breached his contract and it's all kind of kicked off. So a lot of people at the moment, especially non-league fans, are very much against Dagenham, and they think KSI is kind of rubbed us non-league. I don't care.
I was going to say, where were you at with that in regards to him with the money and what they've done with the Ballers League, and like a player now could be out of contract with Wealdstone and then end up there? Or do you think it's good in regards to the eyeballs and the money that it brings in?
I think it's good in the sense that a lot more people, especially the younger generation, because they idolise KSI, are now going to be interested in non-league football. I think the names people are bringing in is really good for non-league football. I just think the way he's gone about it and the way that player's gone about it is very disrespectful, because at the end of the day, this club has been paying his wages. True. This club has obviously signed him, given him this platform before the Ballers League was involved. So breaching the contract, I think, was very, very disrespectful. And his teammates as well. You think his teammates are there. Wealdstone are only part-time as well. So, yes, it's a fantastic opportunity that he is going to Dagenham now, and he gets, obviously, the spotlight from the Ballers League. But is let people down who have obviously put that trust into him, who've obviously built friendships with him as well, and is potentially missed out on winning a trophy now in the FA Trophy. So I do think it's a little bit disrespectful, but it is publicity at the same time, isn't it, for a non-league? And people might read that headline and think, oh, do you know what? I might go and watch Dagenham, or, oh, I'm a bit invested in this league now, and actually pay a little bit of interest. So I'm kind of from both sides. I can see it.
Nah, it's like, for those that don't know, it's like if you're in England and you can get to a non-league game, or like lower league, get there. Like I went to one around just around this Christmas just gone, lit. Yo, the atmosphere with that place was rocking. It was only 2K. It was who played? Oh, I forgot the two teams. It was Hartlepool versus someone. But I went, the shit was lit. Like, and it's only a small ground. But it was fire. It was rocking. Place was rocking. They ended up losing the game 2-1. I can't remember who they played for the life of me. But
everything happens for a reason, and because like you said, the eyes that are on this team now are incredible. Like, it's gonna do amazing things for them, just financially, just having way more people watching the league and paying attention. Because I just think it's fantastic. Because I'm actually I'm from Dagenham, minute, like that's where I was when I was living in London. So to me, this is like an opportunity waiting. Like now, I'm actually trying to catch a Dagenham game live just because of what I've seen. And, the stuff that they've kind of promoted. I think it's good for football. Obviously, the breach of contracts and all of that, the rule break and stuff, it's unfortunate. But I do think that overall they have done a good thing for the league with what they've brought to it. But obviously they maybe could have gone about it a better way.
Do you know what's hilarious though with non-league footballers? There's at least one or two tweets a season where it's like, We're really sorry to inform you, but we have had to terminate a player's contract because they've decided to go on Love Island and they've not sold the club. There's at least two a season, honestly, from non-league footballers that have decided to obviously give up the non-league and the career of playing football to go on Love Island.
Yeah, it's that, and the thing is, people understand
Crazy.
It's a toss-up between the two in regards to the money. If you're getting paid,
yeah, of course,
getting paid £100 a week by your non-league side, for example, and then Love Island pop up and they say, "Hey, we gonna give you, 10 grand for this show." You got a decision to make. How much do you love football? You got a decision to make. But
you're saying it's a decision. That ain't even a decision. I'll be real. Most people are taking the same. We have to just be honest.
It's crazy.
Because then after you done and that 10 grand's gone, if you then go back into football, clubs gonna look at that.
Oh yeah, facts.
That's the issue that you have. Because I remember when Salford City they did their when they did the show on them, the class of '92.
Yeah.
And they signed that star striker. I can't remember his name. This is when they was in the lower league. And I remember he missed the game.
Was that Gareth Seddon?
Gareth Seddon, that's his name. Yeah, Gareth Seddon, spot on. Yeah. And I remember he missed the game because he had a modeling shoot. And it was big money. It was like 5-6 grand for the modeling shoot. And he ended up missing a key game for them.
Oh, I'll go one further. I'll tell you a personal experience. I had when I was living in Dagenham, obviously I had friends that played football at a good level. Yeah. And I think they were in lower league at the time. They were in League 2, League 1 academies. And they got to a point, right, where they wanted to obviously go up in their career. They wanted to go to the next level. Yeah. But because their coach that brought them through the ranks, they basically made a request to leave. And they got really offended by that. The club got really offended by the fact that, we brought you up and now you're trying to leave. So they kind of stunted their career in a sense. They kind of now they just got trapped in that League 2, not being able to leave kind of bracket, and it's that shit. That's the shit. Clubs do pay attention, man. When you're just I want to leave and do something different.
Yeah.
They do.
Remember, I'm not even against it, but you have to weigh up for me. Make sure the bag is big to the point where you don't have to go back because it can be used against you. Because if I'm a non-league side and seeing the players left to go on Love Island, I'm gonna be skeptical if I'm in conversations with them about it. All right, so if you get
for you, it's more than a bag, for No, for you, it's more than a bag. I can understand it. For you, it's more than a bag. I can understand it. I know the reasons why. I can understand it.
This guy, what's wrong with you, Simon? This guy, man, what's wrong with you?
No, don't blame me. It's your. No, don't blame me. You started the game. Don't blame me. Why are you blaming me? You telling me the straight face. Yeah, you're thinking about it. Come on, Flawless.
Come on, Flawless. That's your question.
Yes.
The bag got to be.
People don't call him Midfielder. Come on.
The bag got to, if it's got to be a big enough. I need something.
I know from this bag of the bag. You have different reasons also, right? You will think about it. You have different reasons also.
I wouldn't. You know what? I wouldn't go on Love Island for all the money in the world. To be honest, I wouldn't go on. That's not my thing. But let's say it was the other opportunity. I couldn't do Love Island. I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't. I don't think I could do.
I can understand because you were introvert. Yeah, I can understand it.
Yeah, not even that, because then people would see how I'm not a people person and stuff.
Flashy.
You get what I'm saying?
Flashy.
That's what it is. You see how X did shout out to Expressions, make sure you know what he did. The side men, inside. If you not seen me on there, I think a lot of people would be surprised by how I am. Over long form, this is great. We've been in there nearly 3 hours. Man can chat every day, but I'm not a people person like that. So you may see that, and especially if it's someone around me that I dislike. You know what I'm saying? Around milk, you know what I'm gonna be like.
You see, fellas, though, the thing is, though, you've still got some level of decorum and some professionalism. You see,
shut down the street. No, shut down the street. No. Vikram mentioned decorum and flawless. No. Shut down the street, man. I seen enough. No, let's shut down the street.
Even though I have that, if somebody annoys me and then I can't get away from them, you are gonna see people will see the other side of me. In regards to that. If I'm in a house trap with people and someone's annoying me, there's only so much to the point I'm not gonna say something.
Yeah.
And then it's people are look, I didn't know Flawless had that, or shit, he went too far, or or whatever the case may be. So that's what I'm saying in regards to that. Like, people would see outside of me that's like, people who have been there long enough know what I'm like, because they've seen me on quote unquote like conflicts and things outside of this situation, outside of this. Like, Victor ain't in the chat no more, but he's like, I was involved in a situation without going on into the details a few weeks ago, and Vikram was like, right, if this was you, not Vikram, sorry, Victor was saying, yo, if this was you a couple years ago, that would have went a different way, because I was very mature about the situation. But back then, like a couple years ago, I wouldn't have been such. But yeah, like, because I'm not rude, but I'm just not a people person, which is a surprise.
But that's my point. You're still polite about it. You see me, bro. I just when I get too annoyed, I will just leave and tell them to suck their mums. I don't care. Yeah. Like, I will just tell them. Bro, you're still doing the polite thing. Like, I'll just tell them straight, bro. You don't want to chat shit. I'm out of it.
No. Okay, that means Flawless. See, Vikram will. It's
that's an interesting question. So, Flawless, you've been doing YouTube for like what, 5 years?
Yeah. 5 years, I would say.
So, is that an area you've noticed in yourself? You've matured.
Yeah. 100%.
I would have hated to have known you then.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I've definitely noticed that, like, there's certain instances where I'm like, all right, and I would have like said something at certain points or reacted in a certain way where I'm like, all right, let me just chill out. Prime, you was there for one of them when, without going into all the details, when I was in the group chat and what happened, without going into the details. You're in that group chat. You've seen it. Bear in mind, did I not handle that situation very maturely? I didn't say nothing wild.
I'll be real. You had a right to respond. I'll be real. But you had a right to actually. You didn't say anything mad. You had a right to say something mad.
See, this is my point. I could have said something but didn't. I withdrawn from the situation and was like, you know what? Don't, because of what's going on, because of like I know why that person felt that way and how that can impact people. So it's like, all right, but that's what I'm saying. Like 3-4 years ago, that would have been different. I would have said everything. You know what? We'd still be arguing now.
Yeah, especially when
the person would still be going back and forth now, even though that was weeks ago. But don't make a mistake.
You try to be like, don't talk, kept going, and they
literally pushing the person was pressing the button, and I'm like, don't press the button, because if you carry on and then I respond, it's going well. That's why I was like, hey, you know what? That's why I left. That's why I was like, you know what? All right, because you trying to like provoke me, and then that irks me as well when someone's trying to be provocative. If it's some shit I've done and you pissed at me, I get it, fully understand it. But it's something to not do with me, I'm like, you know what? I'm not involved in that. So, but yeah, that just comes again. That's just with age, though. That's all that is, because I'm,
experience.
There's so much you should have said. I didn't say anything when that was going on. There's so much you should have said, bro.
I could have.
But he's calmed.
But I was like, you know what? I was like, it isn't because of because of where it was coming from, energy wise. That's why I didn't, because I know why the person felt that way. So that's why I didn't say everything. You can do that to you.
No, but that was why you could have, because it was coming. Never mind. I can't even keep.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I wouldn't be able to do that type of stuff, because, like, in person.
But eventually, Prime, you'll probably get to a point where you will. How old are you now, Prime? Like mid-20s?
27.
Okay, if me 27, it would have went the way that you're talking. If I'm 27 and that happens, it goes that way. I'm saying me would know, like,
making me feel like a little kid.
It's like it's me 27, it goes the other way. Me with short hair, it goes that way. Longer hair, me matured. If it's me, without conversation,
without even someone have to instigate,
bro.
Without someone having to instigate, you would snap.
Prime, he's saying, Prime. He's saying after becoming young, he matured.
Yeah, like people would no, I wouldn't instigate it, but once someone said something, I'm like, all right, let's go there. You feel me? I'm like, all right, let's go. And don't get mistaken, that's still there with me now. You know what I'm saying? Me and the guy was going back and forth. I don't even know on the PS, you know what I'm saying? Because he said some shit in a group chat, and we were just going back and forth for days. You know what I'm saying? And that someone I didn't even know, because I was just like, caught me on the wrong day. So don't think that it's still not there type of thing. My mom was just chatting shit in the group chat. And I was like, what? I don't even know you. So I'm like, all right, that's even more of a bio when I don't know you and you tried me. But yeah, if it was me 27, like I said, short hair, or it's a wrap, we'd still be arguing now. I'd literally be on my phone now, still in the group chat prime, going back and forth. All these weeks later, like it wouldn't have stopped. It would have been relentless.
You probably should have.
That's why I left. Cause I know what I'm like. This is why I left. I was like, I'm not involved in this. Yeah, I'm not. But to build up to deluded Chelsea fan, people that
that's me.
Yeah, Charlotte, how did you meet? How did you and Flawless meet? Flawless, your Charlotte.
I think the next part of his question is, do you regret it? That's the next part.
Oh no, of course not.
See, hold that.
No.
Say that again, please, Charlotte. Say that again. Say that louder for people in the back. Huh?
Of course, I don't regret it.
There we go.
Listen, the money he's giving you is not worth it, bro. Just tell the truth, please.
No, to be fair, I'm friends with Saeed and Double A, and obviously the Sunday podcast, Unfiltered. I just saw Flawless and his content and stuff, gave him a follow, and he's not got rid of me since.
Popped up on the podcast, yeah. And then I was like, I seen Charlotte's content, and I was like, yeah, she's excellent. I was like, she's good. And obviously the amount of leagues that she covers from the Prem all the way down to National League. Being a Rochdale fan, I know she's not just in this for the look. So I'm like, okay. And then watch their content. And then that's why you see her on the channel. You don't know what it's like. If I don't rate people, they don't come on the channel. Like, regardless, but I don't care about like who you support, non-league, or it's League 2, League 1, Championship, etc. I ain't fussed about that. So make sure you subscribe to Charlotte's channel. That being said, Charlotte, shout out your channel. Let them know what you got coming up, what happens over there, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so it's Ball and All with Shout on YouTube. I need to pick up a little bit more, but because I obviously host another 2 shows and the Absolute Football podcast, if anybody does want to subscribe to that on YouTube, I host on a Monday the non-league show. So I cover everything from National League North, National League South, and then on a Thursday I host the EFL show. So it's Championship, League 1, League 2. So if you do want to check out some lower league content, you can find me on there and on my own channel. Just do a bit of everything, to be honest. I've got a Let's Talk Rochdale show. If anybody does want to know about Rochdale, you probably don't. You probably don't.
We definitely do, because you see that title race you're in. That title race you in playing York as well. That's going to be lit. Like I said, I'm getting to a Rochdale again. Go on, carry on.
But yeah, that is pretty much it. And also as well, this is why we're still friends, me and Flawless, because he does give me a platform and I much appreciate it as well. He's a real one. As much as you all give him grief, he is a real one. And I've said that. And you can clip it if you want.
Clip that Prime, dickhead. Yeah, clip that. But now also, like I said, well, it's not just me giving you the platform. I know you're great at what you do. That's why I said. That's why you're on. Talk to him. Tell him how, you know what?
Don't worry, I'm not clipping.
I know you ain't clipping it. I'll clip it myself, dickhead. Tell him about the zone and how that came about, because we celebrate people.
No, I get I hate the attention. No, don't. I get really.
Why you on the zone?
You've done this on the purpose. You know I hate this.
Yeah, facts. 100%. We did it to Sai, and he hates it too. So you live by the same rules in the city. Sai hated it too. Go on.
Well, to be fair, DAZN, they actually contacted me a bit ago and they was saying that they were really interested in me doing some work for them and they wanted me to come down to the studio and stuff, which was obviously really, really humbling. But I had a lot, I won't go into it, but I had a lot of family stuff going on at the time, like family issues and stuff. So I was like, I'm really sorry. As much as I love the opportunity, my family come first. Family over everything for me. Yeah. So then obviously, unfortunately, I'll just say it. Unfortunately, obviously, my dad passed away, and he used to always say to me, like, just do it. If you never try, you never know. He was literally that for me. So I thought, you know what? I've wanted to do my own channel for a bit, as much as obviously my other football content. So I'll give it a go. I thought if people don't watch me, it's absolutely fine. At least I'm there having a good time on my own, doing what I want to do. Luckily, it's paid off. I've got some really great support. I've got a really good community going on. Obviously, yourselves give me the opportunity to come on here, which is fantastic. And they contacted me again and they said, obviously, we're doing a match live reaction. So it was non-league day on Saturday. And it often happens when there's international football going on. There's not much Premier League and Championship going on. They have a non-league day, and this is consistent through the season, and it usually happens around the same day. So it was a little bit like, Sky Sports Gillette, where you have people at different grounds, but they had a screen with obviously all the national games on, and it had cut and go to all the different games when things were going on. And I was actually asked to do a 5 to 7 minute segment just talking about Rochdale, talking about the title race. Anyway, it ended up being like literally the whole of the second half. At this point, I missed most of the Dale game because I was talking about everything going on. And yeah, they've just said that they're interested in me hopefully coming on again to talk Rochdale. And yeah, it's really humbling, to be honest, because I never thought it'd take off, me doing it. I used to do it as a hobby and just because I love talking about football. So to be recognised, it's mental. I still can't get my head around it. And yeah, it's just crazy. But a big thank you to obviously all yourselves who have been part of it with me as well. So I'm not one who likes to give credit to myself. I like to give credit to other people. And I obviously appreciate the fact that everyone gives me a platform too.
Yeah, you deserve that though, because the Zone ain't no average platform. It's a worldwide platform, but a global platform. So
don't keep reminding me. You know I'm an anxious Annie. My anxiety levels are like that.
The worldwide platform is though. That's just the facts of the matter. The Zone is a worldwide platform, and they came and got you for a reason. So love that. So you might switch on the Zone, and you'll see Charlotte on there. You know what I'm saying? You switch it on. You might see a Sai on there as well. You know what I'm saying? We got
this is why I call you Ticket Palace. No, this is why I call you Ticket. Because you started it right. I went to, I go to Usan channel. I will be there. Somebody, I went to big up Usam and I super chat. Somebody said Superstar Sai. It's spreading. I said, this is why I hate you, man.
Yo, you are.
This is why I hate you.
TV, man, so we gotta give you your credit.
It's done. It's done. Fellas, it's a very, very small opportunity. It's happened for a reason. It's done.
Facts. Happened.
But you continue.
Everything happens for a reason.
Quality content creator. That's why I side, man. So yeah, the superstar side, celeb shah. So you make sure you subscribe.
No. I'm not. No. See, there is a difference, man. Content creator. No. There is a difference. A whole lot difference, by the way. No. You are the content creators, not me. I can't create content. No,
you create content. You're here, man. You part of the show. This is your creating content, man. You played your.
This brother said he doesn't create content, but him and Jez went about 2 hours just arguing with me over the same point. He doesn't create content.
No, that's discussion, man. No, that is discussion.
All right,
that is discussion. That is not creating content. That is discussion.
But it's a part of content. You know, it's out. It's live on YouTube. People go watch it back. Hey, shout out Beijing Pups in the building. But yes, people, make sure you subscribe to Charlotte's channel. Links in the title. Links in the title. So make sure you go run up her numbers on there. Run up the likes, hit the subscribe button on here. We're going to redirect over to the gaming channel because we're going to run pro clubs as well. Make sure you subscribe to Sarcasm City TV Extra because with the Premier League coming back and Champions League, you're going to get watch-alongs over there. So Champions League, you'll get the Real Madrid Bayern Munich game. Yeah, you get FA Cup. I don't know what FA Cup games I'm doing, but yes, Vikram is right.
Liverpool City
over there. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do Liverpool City because I'm out the day before. But like I say, but if I am, obviously I'll be back. But I'm trying to do maybe the Chelsea.
Don't do that. Don't do that, fellas. You don't need pain. Don't do that.
Don't do what?
City versus Liverpool. It will be fine. It will be fine. Don't do that. I'm saying you go and take a rest or go and take a rest or touch grass or do something.
All right. Thank you for caring about my well-being, man. Appreciate it. So yes, you might get the Chelsea game, Chelsea Port Vale and or Southampton.
You can do that.
Arsenal. So thanks, Sai is my manager now, so he's letting me know what streams I can and can't do. So yeah, people, make sure you check out the extra channel and for the Champions League and everything else as well. Of course, we will be there for that. Liverpool PSG, we're there for that. PSG Liverpool is already on the schedule. Made the thumbnail. We are there.
No, I will have to tell you this, right? H is moving like more than Scrub, more than you. He's more than Scrub right now. He's moving like that. He's instigating it.
I agree with Sam.
He's instigating it. He's moving on the list, by the way. He's way more than cocky right now. You know what, H? I will get you back. I understand you. It's bloodline. It's bloodline. I can understand it.
Yeah, because it's my nephew, because they put City and Real Madrid the same time as the PSG Chelsea game, so I couldn't really watch both. But now, man, can lock in and actually, 'cause I've not managed to watch PSG like properly for a minute right now. So yeah, definitely, they'll be there for that. So just keep a lookout.
I'm not blaming this because of you. I know this. In terms of before also in the chat, he's instigating it. It is instigating so many things, by the way. I see that the banner this guy.
Bro, I thought Will was the biggest fraud, but I've realized it's H now in the chat. He's the biggest
nephew,
fraud.
they on your case.
I've realized it, man. This guy is just the biggest.
This is true. Arnie Slot did get to Pops. Arnie Slot did get what he wanted because he said, "Bring me PSG." So now you got PSG.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's like when Veta said, "Bring me Real Madrid." And he got Real Madrid.
And Flawless, he said, and one more thing he said was, we play good football against people who want to play football. Yeah, then show me. PSG play good football. Then show me what you can do.
Yo, side
you said, no, this guy said, we play better at football against Brighton. We lost at Q1. They could have scored 5-1, by the way.
Yeah, they could have packed you lot up. Yeah.
They could have packed us. And we lost. It's not a surprise. We lost. I'm telling you, this guy, see, I will get back. If we lose to PSG, I will get more things. I will ready a tape. I will play that.
Oh, shit. All right, people. So, yeah, them streams are going to be entertaining. We're supposed to be here for 3 hours, but shout out to Charlotte, Vikram, Sai, Prime, Jets, all of you lot in the chat, all the regulars, all the members, all the new people. I enjoyed this. Here, the thing is, people, I was unsure whether to do this live stream, you know. I didn't know whether to do a Q&A or not. I'm pretty much glad I did, because it's been supremely entertaining. And we didn't even get to the Tonali side of things, but we moved. But anyways, people, we're heading over to the gaming channel right now. We'll be live in 2 minutes on there. But this has been the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in.